Welcome to Imaginary Wednesdays with Thesis, Sahib, and Jisi Dane J. Arusali. Two middle-aged indie rap archivists with far-ranging enthusiasms in inscrutable hairstyles, digging deep into the hard science of probability and what their friends are up to lately. This week, they are visited by the most amazing guest, Mega Ran, joined soon after with their great pal, Mean Joe Tunes. Welcome to Imaginary Wednesdays.
Yep.
Nothing but the real deal. Imaginary Wednesdays, February 3rd.
Hey friends, how's it going, everybody?
Peace, Diesel. How are you this evening?
I'm doing fantastic, man. How are you?
February
doing?
3rd, like, is that a big day for you?
February
Anything good
3rd? No, not really. Hey, real quick, are you getting a little bit of an echo?
Yeah, it's just
Repeat
in
there?
the chat. I'm gonna mute our guests in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, it's Joey.
Okay.
It's Joey.
Okay.
Joey's muted.
Young Joe
Remind me that
Tunes.
later.
That's who that again. It's Joel screwing that up, but that's cool. Whatever.
Joel had
man.
Joey. He was holding Joey too close to the sun. February 3rd. I used to have a friend who had a birthday on February 3rd, but they didn't like the way I was always negative on Facebook. And they stopped talking to me. We were friends for like 15 years. And Facebook put an end to all that. We were friends on the telephone. We were friends on BBSs. We hung out in real life back when humans did that. But drifted apart, and on Facebook they were like, "You're too negative," and didn't want to be my friend anymore. Their birthday,
Oh.
February 3rd.
Oh, I thought it had something to do with they didn't like the way you treated them because it's February 3rd or something
No,
like that.
I was nice to. I wasn't even like rude. They were mad. Do you remember when I used to? Do you remember me and Les both had neighbors like in our different respective municipalities who would only shovel their half of the sidewalk
Yes, I know this story.
or
This
the
is
stairs.
bizarre.
They would only
Yeah.
shovel their half of the stairs. And,
Yes, yes.
I would always shovel the whole stairs. We're in a duplex, and Les,
Takes
where
2
he used to
seconds to
live,
go like that.
yeah, it's easier to shovel the whole stairs. But we both, in our separate homes, had neighbors who, when they shoveled, they would only shovel the snow off of their half of the stairs and leave ours.
Yes.
And so, like, I posted grouchily about it, and that friend of mine was like, "That's it." She took their
Because
side.
of that?
She took their side.
Because of that.
Because of
Okay.
that. But
First of all,
probably-
that sucks
maybe
that your
because of other
friend's
stuff.
saying that.
Maybe because
Yeah,
of other
okay,
stuff. Maybe I was
maybe.
too grouchy more often.
But that's the funny one to push you over the edge. Okay, here's the thing too, man. Maybe this is a back burner curse, and we should check in with the rest of the crew because I have issues. I share a driveway with my neighbors, and we have some issues like that too, where it's like we end up like hiring somebody because it's such a big long driveway to like shovel it, but then they're like, yeah, but the guy does a little extra for us, like cleans our pathway, and he doesn't do that for you because it wasn't in the agreed thing like that. So I don't get my side shoveled either.
Do you
So
think?
maybe this is a back burner curse.
Do you think your neighbors watch the show? Like, are they going to be pissed that you're putting their business out there?
Oh, zoiks. They might, dude, because, yeah, actually, they knew. One time I did, like, a show where, like, I had some interruptions with the police, and they knew. So maybe they are watching this right now.
That's
What up,
interesting.
neighbor? Sorry.
Yeah, shout out neighbors in the chat. Who we got? Mean Joe Tunes is in the chat. That's nice. Mega Ran's in the chat. All the homies.
Yeah, all the homies. The neighbors are silently watching. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm super stoked for today.
Yeah.
We got friends. Oh, it's so dope. Megaran's been a homie for a long time. Joey's been a homie for a long time. This is fantastic. Yeah.
And we're gonna make them fight. We've actually got them in a wrestling ring, and they've both been asked to memorize the moves of their favorite wrestlers, and we're gonna see which one of them survives. Doofysaurus Rex, what's up, Scanes?
We've had Joel poking them with sticks all afternoon, getting
Yeah,
them riled
got
right up.
Riled up. Yo, should
Throwing
we
vinegar
just...
on their wounds.
Oh, actually, before we get into it, I want to show you something.
Yeah. Okay. What you got?
It's not what you think.
Oh, hey now. Okay.
Um,
Oh, it's not what I think. Okay, I got you.
yeah, but no, it's my friend A. Wallace. Actually, we were both
Any
being
relation
grumpy.
to Tim Wallace?
Different person from
Okay.
Nova Scotia. I went on tour with him in 2006. We were both being grumpy on Facebook, and we almost had a little bit of an argument, but we sort of squashed it by, he asked me like how I felt about mindless positivity online in the form of like those platitudes that are in like images. It's like an image of like a plastic screen, and I was like, it makes me want to die, but I hardly notice that feeling anymore. And within a few minutes, he sent me this. No, you're gonna have to listen to it on Twitch, actually. What's up, Shane Hall? Just a little demo for the people, you know. He says he recorded on his lunch break, and he got his friend to send him drums. It says he's gonna put it out as Cheval, which is his guy with a guitar project.
Dude, hey, this just in. That song sounded awesome.
I'm surprised you had
rad.
that. I'm surprised that that note was already available.
Oh, it just came in off the Telegraph.
Yeah, so I'm getting a co-writing credit on that jam. Shane Hall says he should get Michael Kill on it. And maybe I'll get him to do I'll get a rap remix and get space on verses for every rapper who wants to die.
Jeez. It's going to be a long posse cut, dude.
Rap is out of control. Should we send Joel to grab our illustrious guest?
Yeah. Yo, Joel. Now.
Right.
Put the stick down. Put the stick down, dude.
Good. It's good. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He went to go get him.
Now. Raheem, my friend.
Yo.
You're in the building.
I'm in the building?
Well, I mean, none of us are really in the building.
Well,
We're each
it's
in
an honor. We are in a building. Maybe not the building yet. It's an honor. Oh my gosh.
Such a unified color scheme going.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of blue happening. Yeah, we try to keep it blue over here as much as possible. But shout out to your guy, Joel. He was pretty nice.
He's a good kid.
Joel treated you okay?
Yeah, it was very accommodating.
Shane Hall 42 in the chat thinks that our guest Raheem might be a fan of Mega Man. Any truth to that?
Well, that is a very astute guess.
That is astute. Honestly, like when we first started talking about getting you on the show, is like your book had just dropped. It was like, oh, boom, perfect time. Since then you've done like 3 big things. Like you just dropped the anniversary of Black Materia, your Final Fantasy rap album.
Correct.
Shoot, it's so many that I can't even keep track of all of it. I feel like there was another one that I made. Oh, and you're doing you're playing D&D on Twitch starting this weekend?
Oh yeah, I am. That's gonna be really fun.
It's your first time? You're just getting into D&D now?
First time, man. I mean, I've watched a few live shows, but it's going to be my first time playing, and it'll be on Twitch in front of people. So that's nerve-wracking, but it'll be fun.
I feel like
Who
it's
else
just
you playing with?
It's just like rap. If they see somebody do it live, you can do it, right?
Yeah. I think so. Absolutely. It can be done. It'll be great. Yeah, I get to learn on the fly. Like a lot of those folks have done it, have played a bunch before. So, yeah, it's a good group of folks that I normally would hang out with at conventions. And now we're going to be playing D&D every Saturday of this month. Shouts to Astral for helping us put that together.
Yeah. Well, who are you playing with? Who's DMing?
I don't know who the DM is, but the lineup is Critical Bard, Cypher of Tyr, Zombie Kills, and Technique. They're all great streamers who do awesome things, raise a bunch of money for charity, and have amazingly entertaining streams. So I'm looking forward to playing with them. They work with a Critical Role, I guess, which is another D&D company.
Do you already have an idea of what kind of character you want to roll up? Do you have something in mind?
Yeah, man, if I was ready, I would have it up for you. But basically, we went through the site and picked our characters ahead of time. So, but I don't remember what I did because it was legit 2 weeks ago.
Fair enough. Plus, you got to give the people a little bit of suspense, right?
Yeah, for sure. You got to have some suspense, but it was really fun. Just picking character attributes was super fun. So I know I'm going to have a really good time with this.
That's as far as I ever got. As a kid, I wanted to play D&D, and I straight up I had D&D books. I had several different sets of D&D, and AD&D, and I even would get the Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness role-playing game rule book. My friends didn't want to play that shit.
Yeah, man. None of my friends were down. This is something that, man, I just always wished somebody would be down to play in my neighborhood, but everyone was like, nah, we're going to go ride our bikes. We're good.
Losers.
Going outside.
My one friend who seemed kind of into it, he made it into a weird sex thing. I just remember this one friend, we would link up and try and play D&D, and it would always be so at the tavern, a maiden, a wench, spies ye across the room, and we never really it never really got that interest. The action was not the type that it didn't really get off the ground.
I could see, yeah.
So I'm glad
my parents. I went through the same thing where I had the Ninja Turtle ones and a Doctor Who one too that was but I could never get anybody to play with me. But also my mom was super. I had to do it all secretly because my mom was in she was kind of involved in that satanic panic kind of thing, and she was Dungeons and Dragons. She's from Scotland. She's I heard about that. Some wee boys in the States played the game and they had to kill themselves. And I'm I don't think that's how it went. But she's
but that was a big thing in the 80s.
You have to promise that you're not gonna.
I missed that command in the setup. What's that?
Yeah, you just have to promise.
It's scary.
Don't be peer pressured. All right. If things start to get scary, get out.
Get out. Okay. Yeah. All right. I hope there's an escape if it does get weird. But I remember that very clearly, man. That satanic panic was real. Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of my friends who were churchgoers at that time would say "Oh, that D&D is the devil. You better not," And exactly. So I've definitely heard that a ton around my way. And we would watch the cartoon, but I remember people were just nah, man, that's the devil. No thanks.
Totally. Yeah. My mom searching my closet for capes and staffs or weird shit like this.
She only saw your closet now full of that stuff.
Exactly. I can do what I want, Mom. Sorry. Moved out of my own now. I'm all big and grown now. So yeah, she was wrapped up in that. But
Like
Yeah.
the author.
yeah,
It's pretty insane, dude. I have I haven't fully grasped that, you know? Like we write things all the time, you know? We write songs and blogs and whatever else we write. So this is just a long blog to me, you know? This is like 200 MySpace blogs all put into a thing, you know? It's weird, man. Like I started this a long time ago and I never thought I would even put it out. Like it was just a project that I just had sitting there. And I thought with us being home so long, I was just like, this is the time they're trying to really finish this up. And so I just got to work, man. And yeah, it was extremely difficult, like to write it, of course, but to then figure out how to release a book. Like I know how to release a song, but like what's the you know book version of Spotify, you know, or whatever there is, you know, like is there one?
Or the book version of Bandcamp, you know?
Bandcamp, that's what I would really love to have. And
not get those pennies per page.
I wasn't able to figure it out. So it was like, you know what, or at least not figure out something that I thought was fair or that made sense to me. You know, I talked to a lot of publishers and man, I've had some of the most ridiculous conversations. So, you know, I decided to go with a self-publishing type of situation because DIY has kind of always been something I'm most comfortable with. And, you know, I know all day how to kind of promote myself, you know, and the people that I want to hear it, I know how to get it to them, you know, and publishers are constantly like, well, what if we tweak this to push it to a larger audience, you know?
Right.
And they're like, oh man, well, Black stories are really in right now. So just turn up the dial on that, you know, and that video game stuff, get that out of here, you know?
Oh shit.
And yeah, I've had people really like give me some really awkward
These are conversations that you had with publishers, like
yeah,
like they read it and they had suggestions of like what to take out.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and that's kind of what it is. I guess it's just like a record label at the end of the day. Like a publisher says, look, we're going to give you our platform, but you got to play by our rules. So your cover, nah, we'll do that. You know, the main focus, the category, all these things, we'll handle that. You know, you just show up. So I wasn't really comfortable with that. And a lot of people told me a memoir wouldn't sell. You know, they're like, sorry, man, like if you're not Obama, you know, no one cares about your memoir, you know, like people would really, and I'm like, it felt like, you know, traditional view of record labels where they kind of belittle your art, you know, to make you feel like, no, you need us. Like you can't do this, you know? And so, yeah, it really felt like being that 17-year-old aspiring artist again, where people are just constantly like feeding you the right way to do things, you know? And so I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that world at all. So I'll do it myself.
I must be naive because I assumed that if you were walking up to a publisher and you have like, you know, what you've built as an artist, the audience you've got, that they would be on the dick. Like, why wouldn't they just be like, oh, this guy knows how to get these people. He's got them. And they, of course, your audience wants your memoir. Like they get, like you mentioned, like you write, so all through the book is quotes from your rhymes, like,
yeah,
because you've been giving them a memoir from day one, and that's like, they showed up because of who you are, and yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I'm also very naive, like you are, because that's what I thought. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm not Jay-Z, but dang, like, there's a few people who want to hear what I have to say, so you know, let's do it this way. And they're like, well, you know, why get 1,000 when we can go for 100,000? You know, and you know, yeah.
Well, who's like
weird.
even so, like, because with the state of publishing these days, you'd think that like something as solid as your audience would be a better bet than trying to like gamble on taking it to somewhere else that you're not already proven, right? Like, and taking your story out of it. Like, well, that's nonsense,
sure.
and I'm glad you did it the way that made it your way. But okay, so does this mean?
Thank you.
Did you have to edit it yourself, or did you work with other people on it at all?
I hired like my own editors. So I had like 3 different editors. I think the writing process really put me in a sense of like, I didn't want to trust myself too much. Like, I think I'm an okay writer. Like, I'm an English major. I should be. But yeah, I didn't really fully trust myself. So I let a lot of people, read it and give me suggestions. And a lot of what they were saying was just make sure to maintain your own voice in this. Like, I could come in here and switch up a bunch of words and move things around, but I want you to maintain your voice. So if I give you some suggestions, then you go back and you flesh those out, So, so yeah, it's been interesting.
I think it is brave to like let somebody edit your work. Like, I think it's kind of, I think I find that writers I know who are, good writers, they put out weaker work if they're afraid to let somebody like, test it and put it back to them and say, what about this? Did any editors give you stuff that like really flipped how you saw something you'd written, or like made you think about it differently?
Yeah, a little bit, because one of my editors was Canadian actually, and she didn't really understand a lot of the things that I was saying, or wanted me to make things a little more clear and I guess in a more universal, non-North Philadelphia, centric way. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, I have no idea what this means, so please explain it. Like, that happened a lot. And I'm like, oh, come on, you don't know what a bodega is, or something like that, And, for example, but it did make me think about it a lot more of being like, okay, I shouldn't use a lot of, my area slang, for things, So that helped me out. But I was like, you know what? Wu-Tang never explained anything. Yeah, they just gave it to you, and you had to decode it. It was the neighborhood slang, and that's what it was. And I respected that.
Yeah, and it's exciting for the listener who comes from a different, like, speaking as, a hip hop listener who comes from very outside of the origins of almost all the slang. It's like, that felt like really special to like learn it and figure it out. And I guess in a book it's tricky because like a glossary could wind up almost being corny.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think going with a glossary is just, I had a couple like footnotes where I was like, all right, well, maybe I didn't fully explain this, and this could, just in case someone didn't get it, or typical, like maybe things from African-American dialects or cultures. I was like, well, let me just make sure that, just in case somebody doesn't get it. But
the only footnote I found, I haven't finished the book. I was checking it out. Is that you explained that a Switch is not a Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
Yes.
When it comes to community discipline.
And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people may have known that, but just wanted to make sure it was clear.
Yeah, I think it's because as a rapper, you deal in double entendre. You were like, I can't just leave this on the table.
Absolutely.
Raheem, there's a lot of our show is kind of about things that never made it out, like imaginary ideas or things that, B-sides or songs that didn't even make it on the album. Was there anything in the book that you cut out that you would be willing to share with us now and explain why it was cut out? Any stories that you think are cool to talk about like that?
Yeah, I may put this in like a later edit, but there's a basketball player by the name of Jeremy Lin, and he had this really big moment a few years ago, and I wrote a song about him, and I think it was like, what year was that? I don't know, 2012 maybe, and I realized that I didn't mention it later, and then I started like kind of working it in, and then I was like, well, you know what? I don't think it's that important. And then later I started thinking it is kind of important. I just thought like, okay, no one's going to know who Jeremy Lin is in 2021 and it's just not going to be important. So I guess I kind of underestimated that. But the fact was that the story was pretty cool. It was the first time my music got on like ESPN, and there was a documentary done on Jeremy Lin that they interviewed me for, and all kinds of cool things because I wrote this song about how well he was playing. And I thought it was so dope that he was like an Ivy League athlete who was doing all this stuff. I think he went to Harvard, something like that. And so I just thought that was such a great angle for us, smart kids. And so, I wanted to get into that. So I think I will include it, because as I started thinking it through, I was like, man, I could certainly flip this into a chapter, like just speaking about the duality or just kind of the dichotomy of the nerd and the athlete, and then them coming together kind of in the Jeremy Lin story. So I feel like if I do I don't know, like a second printing or something, or maybe in the audiobook version, which I'm working on right now, I may take a side and just like start talking about that and explain it a little more, because now I think it's more interesting than I initially did at the time.
Yeah, that's cool. You're doing an audiobook too, man. That's awesome. So you're gonna do the voice, right?
Oh, of course. It's so funny, man. I'm working with this company, Author House. That's who I printed the book through. They were like, yeah, if you want to do an audiobook, we'll just give you a list of voice actors that you can hire. And I'm like, unless Morgan Freeman is on there.
Yo, is he? I want to see the list. I would want to see the list.
So dope.
I definitely want to see a list, because I was like, dude, like if I just happen to flip through and just hear somebody amazing, like, okay. For sure.
Just think of the potential there. Well, this just reminds me, like a few weeks ago, there was that magazine that did their audio edition, and they had the guy, they wound up having a white guy read a Caribbean woman's story, and he did a whole accent.
Yeah.
And it was horrific.
Ouch.
So I'm just saying, maybe you could
How
get
do you explain that? Like, how does that happen?
There was a lengthy apology post. There was just a whole bunch of like, I've never thought about anything before.
Wow. Oh my God. That's nuts. Whew. Man.
That's not. We're not looking for one of those for you, because I'm available.
I think that'd be fun. It would definitely mess my head up listening to someone else read my story, but also someone that I know, it would be extra weird.
Right.
But yeah, I just, I know as a listener of audiobooks that I prefer hearing it when the author reads it, for sure. I don't care how famous the author is. Like, I just want to hear it in their voice. So yeah, for sure. I am in the process of reading it, and I'm going to hopefully have that out early next month.
And you
awesome,
certainly have a lot of experience recording your voice. Like, it's not going to be an unfamiliar, have you in the booth. Would you ever do any voice acting?
Yeah, I would love to. I don't really know how to get into it. See, I'm in this weird position and predicament where I'm like not famous enough for someone to just run up and offer me these really, really cool things, but like kind of cool. So people who might be in the process of looking for things think I'm out of their league. so it's a really interesting sweet spot where I ask people at Funimation, they're like, oh man, you're Mega Ran. You should be able to. And I'm like, yeah, it hasn't happened though. So can we talk? They're like, but you're Mega Ran, Yeah. And so yeah, it's interesting. I'm definitely open to it. I think it comes down to one thing I've learned from Twitch and a lot of the Twitch streamers, and seeing a lot of cool like opportunities come, like the D&D thing we're doing this weekend. A lot of times you just got to speak up and say that you want things, and that's what social media is for, I guess, at the end of the day. Yeah. So, but I just have to get over myself and my silly pride and nervousness to be like, hey, I want to voice act. Please contact me. No, you should know I want to voice act, and you should contact me. Like, I don't know.
Can't you tell? Obviously,
can't you tell?
I have to voice act.
Obviously, like, who wouldn't? So. But then my mom always tells me, like, anything she's ever gotten in life, she had to ask for. She had to speak up and, let it be known that this was something that she wanted, and follow up and all that. And I'm always like, I don't want to follow up, man. I'm really, really like hard-headed about that, where it's like, again, just being stuck in that sweet spot. It's like, when I message people, like the smallest thing, I respond to literally every email or text or Instagram or Facebook I get, because I think that's important. And literally when I do that, every response is, "Oh my God, I didn't expect you to respond. Oh my God, what?" Like, and but I just think that would be a cool thing, and I just, I would wish that my favorite, people would have done that for me when I was coming up. So, so that's why I do that. And but yeah, I think I just need to make it known a lot more, and tell people I'm interested. And I got to get better at that, man, because like this happened because I think my friend Tanya was like, "Hey, it's Black History Month. If you guys want to do something with Black creators, I'm open. Hit my DMs." And then boom, you know what I mean? This happens. So I really should just be a lot more out there with my desires to want to do things. So I'm getting a little better at that. And but yes, for voice acting, I would love to. I tried once, and this was a little awkward. Mm-hmm. I got an offer to do some voice, like commercial voiceovers for a radio station, just regular radio station commercials. And they were like, "Oh, they're going to come in from like all over the country. So they might ask for a specific dialect or like not a dialect at all." So one of, and I was like, "Oh boy." So one comes in for a barber school in Houston, and they're like, "Okay, so what we need for this is a Southern hip kind of urban vibe for this." And I'm like, "Oh God." And I'm reading the script, and it's like, "Oh, the street of the address was something with a 4 in it." And then it says in parentheses, "You must say the 4 as foe." And I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm good.
How come you could see that, and yet every person I'm around is like, "For show," where I live, Where are all the for shows coming from?
For show, yeah. Where's that coming from? I don't understand. I just like, no, you must pronounce the 4 as foe. That's how everyone here pronounces it, and they'll know you're not from here if you don't say it this way. And I'm like, I get it, but no. And so yeah, I've had some stuff come and go like that where I just didn't feel right. So I say that to say, just my luck, I'll get a voice acting job, and it'll be Barrett Wallace or something, like the job I've always wanted. Yeah. And like, I don't know if you've seen the new Final Fantasy and heard some of Barrett's, lines. It's a little jive, I'll say. And I don't know how I feel about that. So maybe I wouldn't be good at acting because I don't want to do that.
It does seem like in cartoons there's no shame about leaning into stereotype. Like,
mm-hmm.
I mean, unless they're like extremely dry, but like in terms of like anything that's at all fanciful, they're like, well, we're just we're over the top, so we're gonna lean into. Then, but what they decide to lean into is not.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm afraid of something like that happening. Like, my first big gig is going to be like, all right, so this is the soul brother from down under. Oh, and then I'm just going to have to embarrass myself. And so I don't know. I would love to try it, but I'm really afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a position where people typically have a lot of control.
Right.
It's different from like writing your own raps, writing your own book, making your own rules, creating your universe.
Yeah. I wonder how many people are put in awkward situations where they're like, this is my job and I have to do this thing that I don't really feel comfortable with, and just to do the stuff I actually, I mean, that happens in the arts all the time. Like I get people asking me to do bizarre stuff for them, like, do a painting of like, I don't know, man, just like, a family portrait or whatever, and then they got something else they want me to do. I'm just like, that's not even what I do.
I want to see your family portrait.
Family
portrait. People ask me to paint their pets, like, paint my parrot or whatever. I'm just like, what are you talking about, man? Like, have you seen my work?
Paint my parrot.
A drunk snake wearing a Def Leppard shirt. I'm like, come on, man. What are you talking about? I don't even know where to start, man.
Yeah, I get in that situation too. Like, like I get asked to, I get commissioned to maybe write somebody's podcast theme or do something, similar.
Yeah.
And like, you're hoping that they come to you knowing what you do and wanting you to do something in that wheelhouse. But there's always the chance where they're just like, hey, yeah. And it's just
They've
completely
just got
left.
their own
Like,
idea. It's got nothing to do with you.
yeah.
I had one guy
Oh, go
bothering me to do. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I had one guy bothering me to do, like, human figures in like yoga poses for him, and he was like writing a yoga book, and I was like, homie, like this is not. Like, have you seen my art? And he's just like, I can tell by your energy, you'd be perfect for this. And I was just like, yo, you're out to lunch, man. That's when I was like younger and like trying
People
to get
would definitely
jobs,
hurt themselves trying to follow your drawings. People
Trying to
definitely
follow
hurt
my.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it too undiplomatic, Raheem, if I ask about like any of those botched projects that didn't wind up working out? Like what was like a super out there thing somebody wanted from you? Or is it just one of those like keep it in the vault?
Yeah, I might have to keep it in the vault. If times get tough, I'm probably gonna take it. I'm like, hey, you up? Hey, you up? Like, I mean, we're in a very shaky time right now for independent creators. So
in 6 months, I'm gonna come out with a book with all my illustrations about yoga, so it's cool.
he's gonna have the yoga book and the parrot and all that thing.
Yeah.
Like, I got to keep those things in the tuck because you just never know, man.
Yeah.
You were writing today about what happens when live shows come back. What kind of perspectives were you seeing? And did it like match up what you were thinking?
I saw some interesting stuff. I saw people saying, "Oh, I'm in Florida and live shows never really stopped," to different things. I just wanted to hear what people thought, and I think a lot of people were trying to direct it towards me, and I wasn't thinking about myself and what I would do per se, but it made me think about it. So I was just like, if I said, okay, I think indie rappers are probably going to be in backyards for a little while, and maybe that's the safest place, and people were like, well, I'd come to the Mega Ran backyard tour. And I'm like, well, that's cool to know, duly noted.
You'd be more likely to do backyard wrestling, I think.
Yeah, we got to have wrestling happening and concerts in the same backyard. Light the stage on fire, and I'm inside the fired ring. I don't know.
Like
put some thought into this.
Social distance.
Oh, for sure. And social distance, of course. You stay 6 feet from the fire. But yeah, I saw some interesting stuff. I just wanted to kind of see what people thought because, I hear a lot of different sides. I know people who work for Live Nation and other places like that, Ticketmaster, and they're talking about, the big acts are going out in 2022 and no one will hit the road before then. And of course, I feel like medium or smaller acts probably will be out before that, or at least attempting to. And I hear some
time.
Yeah, you get less. You take less lead up time. We have less overhead overall, and honestly, and this is an underrated point of view, but I would like to do my part to try to save some of these smaller venues, because I don't know how many of them are going to be around or make it. We've seen venues closing around here nonstop. I don't know if you guys have, but
for sure.
They just can't sustain. I mean, barcades, other things that were so cool, such a cool part of our society, really can't sustain no one wanting to be there. And so, yeah, my goal is hopefully to do my part to try to help, keep some of these places around. So if we have to do smaller shows, I don't mind. And but I feel like I don't know how much, I feel like everyone's going to have to go with door deals and no more guarantees and, just kind of a wait and see moment. But I got really sad because I just thought like, oh man, every band is going to want to be on the road at the same time. And so that could create a really difficult logjam where promoters and people are like, sorry, man, we got this big act coming and we don't have time to listen to you,
Or
have
worse,
you sold us?
Those giant lineups, it's got like 10 openers and stuff where promoters are really optimistic. That'll definitely increase if like with a premium on performance time and space.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and I think I saw Shane mention it too. Like, I'm really excited about the idea of integrating what we've been learning in live streaming to live
Mm,
shows. You
yeah,
know,
for
and
sure,
like
for sure.
I was saying, like every venue better have some sort of either green screen or some sort of projector type situation in place so that they can also maybe sell tickets to a streaming audience, you know, and I hope so. You know, I think that we can't go back to business as usual. Like, I think that we all hopefully have come out of this with a lot more skills that we can put to
Hmm.
use. So I think live shows are going to get better. At least I hope so.
I can
But
imagine. I would love to see like people take what they've put into like creating these broadcasts and turn it into like stage design, because that's something that's like on an indie
Mm,
level especially it's very rare to see like
yeah.
really careful stage design. Like that Mike Eagle stream that he did for Anime Trauma and Divorce. Like, did you see that stream he did where he had like the two parts of the set and like one was a living room and where he would go to
Oh yeah,
talk for a while and then.
I was there, but I couldn't tell anybody. But I was in the audience in LA.
Oh, really?
oh,
I traveled out to see it. I was just so excited about it, and so they put maybe 6 people in the audience, and had us kind of watch it. And yeah, that was awesome. So I was thinking like that kind of situation
Hmm.
will like, I think a lot of indie cats will hopefully, you know, do a lot more creative things with the time and the space that we're given. So yeah, we start seeing set design and all that at, you know, indie rap shows. Like, I'm all for it.
Big time.
yeah.
Wow. And book tour, like you're still gonna have to do your book tour someday, you know? Like you got to get out to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
signings and.
Yeah, that's another thing that made me like kind of sad about putting this out. It's like, man, I just imagine like, you know, shaking hands with people once they buy it, and you know, the whole book tour experience. And you know, it's not a possibility. It's just postponed. So
Right.
I will be glad to do something like that in the future. And
Hey,
really
maybe
looking
this is
forward
your
to it.
book tour right now, man. Maybe this is your book
I
tour.
mean, that's kind of how it's felt like. You know, I did a live reading where we did a live stream and sold tickets, and people would get a copy of the book or a digital copy if it didn't come in time. And we would all sit together and read like pieces, or they would pull out pages and ask me questions. And, or I would call on them to read like a school setting. And,
You've got experience there, right?
yeah.
You've got and Morgan Freeman sits up in the audience and he reads a passage from your book,
Absolutely.
just what you hoped for.
Yeah, so like I would hope to, I really do want to, like, I mean, human interaction is such a big part of what I do, and it's a big thing that I need, you know, hugging and high-fiving and being close to folks so they can experience what I do. I think is where I'm at my best. So I'm really excited about it. But as I get more and more, you know, comfortable and good at streaming, it makes me wonder, like, am I still going to want to get out there at 40
Mm,
something years old and,
mm.
you know, stay at the Motel 6 and, you know, pack 6 dudes in a van farting all the way to Austin, Texas? You know, like, I don't know. I think I will value my time and comfort a lot more. In addition to,
Mhm.
I think this past election cycle just really got me soured on a lot of America, you know, and
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah.
that's another thing. I'm like, man, you Trump supporting cities don't deserve me.
Oh
I'm not
man,
going, you know,
but
so
those
part of me started feeling like that.
but there's
And like,
people in those Trump supporting cities who need you more than anybody else because they got
you're right.
assholes all around them and they're the little Rahims growing up.
Aw, you're right,
It's
man.
true.
Like,
It's true.
I've had to fight through that a lot because looking at these maps and all this red, and I'm just being like,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't ever want to go there again. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me like really angry. Like, I don't want to support that town's economy and whatever else.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, these people deserve it, and they're not all like that. So I want to, but man, I
And
don't
you can
know. I don't
live
know
stream
if
to
you,
just the nice. You can just live stream to the nice households and not put yourself at risk going
I
into
mean,
those.
yeah, because like, you know, I don't know if you've driven through the South with people of color in your car on late night drives, but it's not a fun feeling, you know, just hoping that, you know, these drives on these dark roads are going to wind up okay. And Yeah, man, I've had so many. I've talked about so many of them in the book. Experiences on the road where I feel like I've gotten lucky. Like, I've maybe done nothing wrong. I've been pulled out of a car. I've been sat inside of a squad car. Been, had all of my belongings going through. I think about the worst case scenario, not just, as far as the election, but like politically and like just the way the world is. It kind of scares me, but yeah, at the same time, like I know that there are people in those towns that I love and that love what we do, and I want to bring them a little bit of sunshine, if I can. So yeah, I'll return to the road at some point. I will.
It's tough though. We are all in our 40s. It is like it's hard on your body to do it.
Yeah.
In the States now, Margaret Atwood because of like Handmaid's Tale, right?
Yes.
Also, you're a man of letters, so you probably knew her before anyway. But I'm just trying. This is Canadian self-effacement. I'm like, our famous authors. Do you even know them? But Margaret Atwood had this long-distance quill pen that she could control robotically from her home to do book signings, but not have to get close to have to get close to people. And I feel like if we have to stay quarantined or isolated for much longer, we have to figure out how indie rappers can have the autograph machine, the dap machine, the hug machine. Gonna have to like mist like a little sweat on them after the live stream or something. Like,
I'm just trying to figure out, and I honestly thought it would have been done by now, but a way to applaud during a live show has not been figured out yet. And I really just thought there would be some way. I mean, you could hit a button or find an applause thing on your phone probably, but like we need that. We need feedback. So we need to be able to hear that you're enjoying us. And there's just, we haven't found a good way to do that yet. So I honestly thought that would have happened by now.
Yeah, you got to patent the app. Maybe like bring that to somebody. I know that if you can see the audience, the deaf community is always as this, basically like the Beyonce woke up like this, like that's applause in American Sign Language. So if you can see them, maybe they can give you that, so you don't have to unmute all the channels. Or maybe everybody could have a little button that sets off the ICQ ow noise. If you just have a bunch of those going in your headphones, you know that.
That would drive me crazy. I don't know if you guys have been on Clubhouse. The new hot app that's like networking and things like that. It's I don't know. I call it Cap House because there's a lot of cap, as the kids say, on this app. Basically, people just pretending to be amazing gurus at everything and giving you advice who haven't done it. That's
shit.
Well, here's how to make $1 million from a guy who has $2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've so in there when you're applauding, people just tap the mute button and untap it. So therefore you see a reaction happening on the screen.
The light goes on and on.
Right? You see the mic with the slash through it. And so that lets you know that they're giving you live feedback. But yeah, we gotta come up with some universal way for instant feedback.
Would Clubhouse work as a live show platform, or is it too like voice bandwidth only for the audio?
I don't know. I've heard people playing music through it. Like you can set up a music mode where you can like play songs directly from your phone, but I don't think you could like sing over a song through your phone on it to make it sound good. Probably not. And there's no cameras. As of now, it's just chatting. I don't know if you guys remember or had this when you were maybe a teenager. We had this thing called the party line.
I remember ads for the party line.
Yeah. So the party line, it wasn't like a 900 number. It was just like a local number, and everyone could call, and they'd be like, "Who's on the party line?" And then you'd hear like Joey, and then like somebody else, and they could, "Oh, I like Joey, so press 1 to invite Joey to a room," and then you can hit press 1, and then you and Joey can get to know each other. So yeah, like it reminds me a lot of that. But as far as music, I'm not sure. People try to do like versus battles in there where they're like, all right, tonight only, DMX versus Nas, and I'll play DMX songs from my phone, and you play Nas songs from your phone.
Oh my God, fantasy football versus.
We'll choose. Yeah. So it's some ways to make something fun, I guess. But yeah, because the music quality is not great in it.
That's probably good. That'll keep us in business a little longer as long as people can't entertain each other too much.
Yes, I wonder that. Me and Front made a song about that, Apocalypse Bards, and I was joking in the song is that like, yo, the world could just become so effed up that people just don't want to have fun anymore. Like that was like my absolute fear. It's like, oh no, we don't have time for fun. Like, no, we're trying to live. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in the world of like Fallout or whatever,
right?
Like there's no need for anything. You just gotta
a lot of entertainment,
and you're playing old tunes. Like there's nothing for entertainment because we're trying to survive.
Yeah. It would be interesting though to see, because like, in that apocalypse, you're running from the Terminators, but like, do you stop and try and find some kind of like old YouTubes that are archived of like some comedian you love, or like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on there? Or is that a tactic to get you caught by the Terminators? They're like, let's put out some comedy that these people are gonna like, and we can follow their signal and get them.
Distraction, yeah.
Basically, it's like mermaids, like the sirens, but it's like just a dope beat is playing.
Oh my God.
But then it's one of those like ancient things from Breath of the Wild that zaps you when you get close to it.
Oh man.
I'm worried that's gonna happen. I feel like we ought to let you go soon, but I wanted to bring up Black Materia again too. Like that's people have been so excited to know that was coming back. That you were doing the revisited Black Materia with the vinyl, which looks gorgeous.
Thank you. Working with Game Shop Strickers, DJ Cutman with that. He knows everything about video game music. He has expanded that world in such an amazing way where like he's the guy to go to for video game music. And I knew that he could help me out with this. And so we got Matt Weiss, Storyville, who did all the mixing and mastering, and so many artists and friends. And this album got like bigger than I ever thought it would get, and so to the point where I had to cut songs that I loved. So I think there's a possibility of like maybe an addition somewhere down the line, but it's 22 tracks and people were like, it's 2021. Why do we want so many songs? And but Final Fantasy VII, if you know anything about it, it's a big, massive game. So you need to tell these stories because they're so important. So I had to make some cuts. And one of the songs that didn't make it is a song about Tifa. It's a love song, which is so important, I think, to the story. But for various reasons, it just didn't make it. I referenced Tifa in several other songs, so I feel like the story is still told without her having her whole song. So yeah, there's just some amazing beat makers. I got to shout them out, man. K Murdoch, Lost Perception, DN3, Rifty Beats, Kazu, and so many great artists as well. Did their thing on it, man. Like it feels like a movie, and like it to me. Saying that about my own work, it feels really odd and weird and facetious, but yeah, man, it feels like an experience, and that's really what we wanted. And so I thought it was going to come out last year, but when pandemic first kicked off, I couldn't get into the studio. We couldn't finish things. Everybody's in a panic and a frenzy, but it worked out perfectly because we released it 10 years to the day of the original release. And it's the album that literally changed my life, like no hyperbole, because I was, I talk about it in the book. I was in school, I was teaching, and the album just kind of took off, just, I think a Reddit post just like blew it up. And, I didn't expect that at all. And so, yeah, man, it changed my life. I quit my job a month after that. I was on tour with MC Chris 2 weeks after that. And, the rest was just kind of history. So it's an honor to go back, and at the time I was recording in my closet. I was mixing on cracked software, I didn't know what I was doing. And so I was like, well, now that we know better, we should do better. So let's get this do-over, and like, that's how it went down. So I'm super proud of it. You can go grab it anywhere. Black Materia remake. It's fire. Absolutely. You don't even have to know anything about the game. Just imagine like, Shinra is like Trump. they're way more organized than Trump is, but
Right.
but yeah, just imagine that, and basically this is like the 4 years of Trump's presidency in an RPG, and
Dope way to-
yeah, if you think of it that way, you can get into it. But yeah, they're nowhere near as Trump's folks are nowhere near as organized as Schiffer was.
Better writing, even in the translations. Better dialogue.
For sure.
It's funny to like go back to something because like there's an like because you have such a high volume of output, and you have ever since you like at least as long as I've known of your output, like since the early Mega Ran days, you know, you just keep it coming. So like to actually go back, like stop and go back and like revisit something. I mean, it really must have like been a big moment for you and your fans, like the fact that it took you so far. Yeah.
It's a big thing for me. Like releasing, it's different to like I do a freestyle every Friday, or I put out a song on Patreon, or maybe an EP here and there. But there's never been like, well, not never, but there's once in a while, like every few years, I think there's an album that I put together that feels like an album. And I'm like, this is not a drill, guys. This is the thing that I worked on while I was doing all those other things, you know? And that's definitely happened with this. Like, this is the record that, you know, we did a Kickstarter for it a year before. And I was like, we got the budget, then we got to make sure that this thing is done exactly the way we want it to be. And I never really had that freedom before. So I think that I have to thank the people who backed on Kickstarter, because that really gave me the leeway to be like, no, we don't need to rush this out. We want to make this perfect. And, you know, and that's really what that gave me the time. But at the same time, you know, there was so much else going on. I was working on an album with Young RJ. You know, it was I guess we were touring, we were doing other things. And so there was a lot happening that bought me time, you know, luckily. And I was like, all right, well, 2021 is the year. Like, I have to say, like, January's been like one of the like dopest years of my career, or months of my career. It's almost a year, you know, like just because of all the cool things that have happened at once, you know. And like with this book and final, like the In Black Materia to come, like these things that I've been working on for almost a decade, you know. So it's just great timing. So now we got to just ride this momentum out and keep pushing, you know, for the rest of this year and beyond, you know. But man, I can't wait till we can get out and play this stuff live. I have dreams and visions for this for Black Materia, like costume.
What's the stage set gonna look like? What's the stage dressing?
It's gonna be Sector 7. Like we're gonna build this thing out. I imagined it being at like a place like a MagFest or something, and us really building out a set, having, you know, everyone in costumes, flying out all the artists, and really making it happen. So if we're in for another year, which I hope we're not, I may have to like try to put this on a stage somewhere, like maybe at a, you know, a play or so, I don't know, something like that. Like I'll put it in a place like some sort of a hall.
It's gonna be
and
Rap
like
Hamilton. Wait, I was gonna say Hip Hop Hamilton, but I guess Hamilton already is.
Yeah. Oh,
Video game Hamilton. Video game Hamilton.
There you go. So yeah, man, I definitely got some Hamilton vibes. I had a dream about it where I was like, I want to put this story, either the story of the book or the story of Black Materia, into a stage play, you know? And so I've been thinking hard about it, and I think that that'll be my next thing, you know? I'm like always liking myself to Ryu at the end of Street Fighter 2, you know, where like Ryu wins the tournament and he's not even there for the ceremony. You know, they're like, oh, we're trying to give him his medal. Where is he? You know, and it's like, nah, he's off to the next challenge. He's Hadouken and rocks, and you know, he's getting better. So that's really me. I don't want to rest on my laurels, and you know, this is a great accomplishment, but now to me, it just sets the bar even higher. Like, I'm like, all right, where else can I go? That's uncharted territory, and what else can I do that's amazing? So that's it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have a copy here. Bam! This is the book, and this is my wife's copy. She's gonna kill me, but here it is. Nice. I had to borrow it because I'm sold out of these things. I have a site, dreammasterbook.com. I'll leave a type it in the chat for you guys, and on there it's a list of all the places you can get it. I organized them in order of importance to me. So there are some African American bookstores first. There are bookstores that in my neighborhoods second. and then Amazon. So if you absolutely need to get it on Amazon, they'll ship fast. But yes, make sure you get that book if you can. And I promise that I will sign it when we're doing tours
Awesome.
again.
Awesome.
Or if
We have
or if we build the robot arm.
the robot arm could work. We have people in London. DJ Media Frenzy's already inviting you to come for the backyard fire tour.
Yo,
So
heck
as soon
yeah.
as we can, we gotta have you here. And Jesse's just down the road in Ottawa, so
Yes.
we're gonna we'll have you. You can come play in our backyard. I know that a Media Frenzy has a awesome backyard that like Fat Lip hung out in and did some fun stuff with. So yeah, it's a legendary little spot. So
That's dope.
yeah.
I gotta get back to Canada. Like I really wanna tour out there again real soon.
Yeah,
I know me and Warburger were talking about it for a minute, so I hope we can make that happen.
He's
That
in
would
the
be-
chat right now, so word up to
Hey,
Wordburglar.
Bergie's in the chat. What's up, Bergie?
Yeah.
He says,
we got
sure you can means sure you can. Giving us
Sure
positive affirmations.
you can. I just saw a question from Grown Up Mike. Will anyone besides Whitey Cracker ever touch Chrono Trigger? Yeah, K Murdoch made a Chrono Trigger album, Hero Music. I do a rap on there as Robo. Came out a few years ago. Who else is on it? Samus plays Luca. Who else is on there? Trob One is on there. Like all my favorite folks. So yeah, check it out. Look up Hero Music by K Murdoch. And it's all Chrono Trigger samples. It's a real fun album. And we played it live at last year's MagFest. We did a K Murdoch set where we all played our songs from it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Does it have a song about Gato from the World's Fair? Gato,
Probably.
the fighting robot?
I'm sure. Everybody's represented on there.
Nice. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And I know we were all over the place, but that's just you. You're all over the place. There's so much to talk about.
I mean, that's me. If it weren't all over the place, I would say I'm out of here because this isn't a place that I want to be.
Right. We had to keep you
So
entertained.
yeah, it's just like me. Oh, super random. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Maybe that should be your rap name or something.
Yeah, you might be on to something there.
Now, everybody who can't get enough of Random, we also have a DJ set from him coming on this Friday on Animal Street Cellar. And,
Yeah.
What's Thesis? Tell me the details of it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Friday at 9 p.m. We'll probably have Ran on first, and that's on this same channel, but 9 p.m. Friday. Mean Joe Tunes handles that show, and he's our next guest, actually, so that's a cool little transition there.
Nice.
Raheem, one thing I wanted to say, the first time I met you was when you gave me a Random vinyl. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, that was at South by.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was awesome, man. That was so cool. But I just wanted to say that just for the shout out. Thank you.
I do remember that. I was that's the album I'm most proud of, and I felt like hopefully you would enjoy it. And yeah, man, the album is a lot of fun. So I was honored to give you that. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you still have it.
I still have it. I very much appreciate that. I should have dug it out, but everything's still kind of all over the place. But
Okay.
I do appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
I'll have to
Word.
get that signing machine and get you to sign it for me.
The signing machine.
Yeah.
That machine and
The
sweaty
DAP,
hard machine.
the DAP machine, though, I'm all for it. I need the DAP machine.
All right, we got a lot of patents to file after this episode.
Yes, sweaty hug
Yeah.
machine. Yeah, we got to get on it.
All right, man. So good talking to you. So good seeing you. And I'll see you
Likewise,
again
man.
soon.
Love you guys. It's always
Thank
good to
you so
chat.
much.
So
Thank you
keep
so
up the
much.
great work, and I'll see you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right, Thesis. It's just you and me again for a sec. So
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
feeling?
yeah.
Having a good
Great.
evening?
Man, that was really dope, man. Like, we're always trying to get behind the scenes stuff, and Megaran, with so much stuff going on, he has tons of cool behind the scenes and how it is as a creator, and the hurdles you have to jump through to get, your art out there is crazy. So it's good to be able to share that with everybody and to learn ourselves too. So it's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, we're all authors. We all got books.
Yeah, except they're on CDs and vinyl, so
Yeah.
and cassette tapes. So yeah.
No, but you got art books.
I got art books. I
Yeah,
got
and
real
you got
art
your
books
art
with
book-
real
and you-
writing, some by you inside of it too. But
A
yeah.
little bit by me. You got your little
a little
zines
bit.
coming. I got my little zines and my humble and brilliant book. Oh, thanks for posting the
Definitely.
links, Mega Ran, in there. Yeah. All right. I just
Yes,
needed to
thank
take
you.
a little breath. Yo, actually, before we go to Joey, I want to go to Joey real quick. But before I do that, I want to show you something I got. This
I
just
know
showed
what
up
it is.
today.
Yes, yes. Okay.
But you're not
This
going
is
to
the
hear
thing.
anything. You're not going to hear anything from me for a second. You're just gonna. So you have to talk to the people while I do this.
Okay, I'll give some hints because I kind of know what this is. There's a song on it that's about was made by one part of Bending Mouth and another guy who may be in the chat, and it's about an underground civilization that existed before human beings, and then when the Ice Age happened, they had to hide underground, and then when they came out, it was the apes had taken over and become humans, and it's an album that's one song on it about. Do you guys know what it is? It's from Bandcamp. It's from a recent thing. It's an awesome project. Jesse's opening right now. I even love the outside packaging. Like that's a dope piece of art right there. The blue like half circles with the full circles. Does anybody know what this is? The other song's about a escape or welcome to Cobra Island. The Word Burglar on vinyl finally. On vinylly. Dude, I even love that wrapping, man. That package is dope. Yo, can you crack it? Is it what color is the vinyl inside? Do we have a color vinyl or is it? Big shout outs to Mega Ran. Thank you so much for spending time with us. That was really, really awesome, man. We got Thomas Quinlan in here. We got Chocules. We got a lot of the back burner friends. Here's the vinyl coming out right now. Comes with the download card. Oh, man. Heck yeah. Woo! Nice. Oh, it's green. Oh, no. That's awesome, man.
Pretty cool, eh?
What a nice piece, man. That's awesome, dude.
Just showed up.
Oh, shit.
Just an intrepid, you know, one of those dogs that has like the keg around its neck and comes to find you when you're lost in the mountains.
My favorite kind of dog, dude.
Yeah, well, so it busted through my basement window like while we were talking to Raheem, and I had to just kind of like be chill about it. But it had that rolled up in the keg under its chin.
It miraculously folded out quite nicely and kept its shape. That's awesome.
I mailed a vinyl. I mailed a copy of I forget now if it was Humble and Brilliant or if it was Danger Grove, but like an LP to the homie Matthew Manuel out in BC, and his post carrier literally folded the record in half to squeeze it into his mailbox.
Dude, what the fuck?
Like, I guess that's on me for using a soft mailer, but how do you not realize that you're shattering it?
Yeah. When it comes to like the bending, when you're bending it, so like you have to bend a record proper to get the actual shatter going. You know what I mean? Like, oh, nearly there. This is a thick magazine you got. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? What's it made out of? Kevlar? Like, dude, that's crazy.
That was
That's a new level. That's a new level. They're probably mad because only half of their steps were shoveled or something like that.
Oh yeah, probably.
That's probably what it was.
That was violence. Well, okay, thanks for experiencing that opening with me. And you know what? These days I might even listen to it.
That's awesome. We should have Bergie on here to talk about this album.
Yes.
At some point, maybe if we can get in touch with him, if his management will ever answer our calls.
Now he's got like a nice new camera. I can't wait to have him on. You can see every angle of his jaw.
Chiseled superhero jaw.
He wants to come on. Yeah. He says he wants to come on and talk about all the Mega Ran songs that he loves.
Dope.
Yeah, I think from now on we should only have people on to talk about Mega Ran.
We could just like fill in the next year.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
You think that we could get Joey to not talk about his record and just talk about Mega Ran instead when we get him on?
Maybe. Hey, you know what though? I'm really excited about this Joey project, man. It's been a minute since he's put out a solo like beat thing. I think that the last beat thing he did was maybe a 7-inch record with Gripsky on the other side, and I did the artwork on each vinyl.
Did you do
a super limited thing?
A different painting on every record cover for that one?
Yeah. Joey came over. It was like a really hot night, a really hot summer night, and like he was just passing records, and I was like drawing on them and painting, and they got me these nice special markers, and I just did them all, and I think it was like 30 or some odd records for those cats, and yeah, it was good practice. It was good practice.
You guys must be really good friends.
Dude, hey, we'll talk about that. We've been on enough crazy situations and on tour with other people on this podcast.
I got to see some of that. All right, you know what? Let's play a little cartoon.
Your tour, yeah.
Let's play a little cartoon, and then we can come back and see if Joel's managed to scare up little Joe Tunes.
Yeah. Hey, Joel, get Joey now.
I'm a band leader. Not only can I drink a whole lot, but I play 23 different instruments too, and I don't even know how to read music. Self-taught. You know. Couldn't tell it, though, to hear me play. When I play and sway in rhythm to the catchy little tunes that I know, all the girls for 5 miles around get hot pants from me. Hacha!
Repay you Tuesday if I could have 2 hamburger pizzas today.
No money, no pizza. Cash on the line.
Ah, what up?
What up? I should crouch down a little bit.
It's the only way to go. I'm always
how's
crouching
that?
down. I'm not really that short. I'm just
There we
always
go.
crouching down.
Here. I also want my man Chaps in the picture.
Okay. You got chaps.
you're
I
wearing
got
man
chaps.
chaps?
I got the whole show. I got the whole third verse up in
He's
here.
got
Oh.
repping. We repping Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
We
man.
repping Saskatoon, baby.
It's all the Saskatoon
Lawrence
homies in the
says
place.
that he's digging the mic upgrade for.
Arv Lawrence, shout out Arv Lawrence. Everyone go follow
Hey,
him. He does beautiful drawings and beautiful artwork.
Art
He's a
Lawrence,
homie.
we'll talk soon too. I know I owe you some responses.
Yeah.
Just life just went sideways, but it's okay. I want to
Yeah.
talk. Yeah.
Arv Lawrence, word up.
Yo, hey, shout outs to
Hey, Beer Lab.
Storm
Oh,
State
Storm
and Beer
State.
Lab.
Nice.
Storm State and Beer Lab representing that local.
I got this one. This is my favorite one right now from Beer Lab. Porches.
Dope.
Yeah,
Dope.
it's beautiful.
Chilling on
Comes
porches.
in a can. It was put there by a man.
Hey, shout outs to everybody who's tuned in. This is like a double feature for us, so we're pretty stoked here. Shane Hall, what's up? Miss you so much, man. Mega Rand, you're the best.
Yeah, that was
Mike,
amazing.
Thank you so much. That was so dope, right?
I loved every minute of it, especially his insight on to what's to come on future shows, or like live shows, like all the live streaming we can do, all that venues are gonna have to get their projectors. I didn't think about that part. The venues will have to have their scene going.
That's true. It's time for them to up it too, right?
Upgrade.
Make it cool. DJ Media Frenzy, Gripsky, Chokules,
Shout out
Backburner
Media
in the
Frenzy.
house.
Shout
Give
out
a
all those
shout out to
people.
Yeah. So Joey, what's going on, man?
Chilling. Shout out to Wordburger on that new record. I need to get it. I busted this out when you guys were talking. I grabbed this from my little stack.
Oh, nice.
Get that one. He signed it too. I met him. I don't know if you guys ever
did
met
he use
Wordburglar.
He used the remote signing hand, the Canada arm.
Yeah, he did. He had it with him. Like, he was there, but he was like, "Let me just try this new technology Steve Jobs gave me." And I was like, "Steve Jobs?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Oh, I wish I had a job.
I wish I had a job.
He was there, but he was like, "Don't come near me."
Yeah, they call me James No Jobs. I don't even know a guy named Steve. But hey,
I
Hey.
want to hand check.
hand
Can't
check.
check.
I got
Check.
Yule Nog.
Hey, Thomas Quinlan in here. Thomas Quinlan.
City Seltzer Yule Nog is flavored carbonated water, flavored to taste like eggnog.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm down with that.
Shout out to young Sappho, who hooked me up with this as a Christmas present because I like weird bubbly drinks. It tastes just as strange as it sounds.
Well, they got you exactly what that is. It's a weird bubbly drink, dude.
Yeah.
No bubbles, no troubles.
What'd they get you? Like, they should just get you like a stiff drink of kefir.
Shout out to
You ever had
Kiefer.
Kiefer Sutherland. You ever had I can't really do kefir, but
What would you mix eggnog seltzer with? Alcoholic drink.
rum.
Seltzer? Eggnog
Nothing.
seltzer? I don't even want to think about that.
A garbage can.
yeah. The drain. The sink.
Train. Fuck, I fucking love you guys, man. I love Mega Man. I love all these friends. hanging out with us. Fucking Joey, Jesse, I love you guys. This is
I love you, man. I'm so happy to be on your show. Shout out to everyone in the comments giving me all these nice words too, like on those beats.
Yo, those beats were dope though.
Thank you.
So there you go. It's your fault. They were good.
Ah.
Yeah. So hey, tell us about your project. Tell us about your project.
Well, so it's just, we've had this conversation before. I like to start projects and not finish them. I like to start beats and just let it go. I'm just working on something and that's it. Never go back to it. So I maybe it's like a challenge or something. I don't know. I just set these dates. I wrote them on the wall. 4 different dates. They just happen to be Bandcamp Fridays. And I'm just going to release something on those dates. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like a beat tape, working with another artist, working with multiple artists, or whatever, a 45. I don't know. But something's going to go out on these dates, just to kind of force me to release stuff and finish things and put things out. And like, I don't know. I'm always doing things, so I might as well be releasing it into the.
You're always doing stuff, man.
Into the Astral Island verse.
Why don't we run it back a little bit? Because we know who Mean Joe Tune.
Exactly.
All the people out there might like you're a DJ, you run a record label, beat producer, and we're talking about all of those hats. Spin every Friday night on the what the hell is it called? Animal Street Cellar?
Animal Street Cellar. We got Mega Ran this Friday, baby.
But sometimes you call it Friday Night Live. I'm confused. Every week I don't know what to call it.
Friday Night Live was okay, so once upon a time there's this thing that just had struck, and it was called COVID-19. So Grips and I, this is a little fun fact. This isn't my brainchild. This is like, so Grips and I are sitting there, we're talking, we're watching DJ Everfresh, shout out to Everfresh. We're watching him stream like a mother father, and he's like getting all these views, and it's awesome. We're watching it, like I'm getting hyped over it. Grips is getting hyped over it. Everyone's getting hyped over it. So we're like, we should just do like an event, like one event, where we have like a bunch of different DJs going on, because people are starting to talk about Zoom. We're learning about that. We're learning about all this different stuff. So we were like, let's throw a Friday night show like we would a hip hop show, and just have 5 different DJs or something on it. So it was Everfresh we talked to, Grips, Ando was the first night, Uncle Ando, shout out Uncle Ando, and DJ B-Nuts, legend, DJ B-Nuts. And that was like the first show. And then we got DJ Media Frenzy coming on. She was like, after that, she was our number, she's like became a regular. And we just started throwing these shows, and like we were just trying to do one thing. And Grips was like, here's how you do it. I talked to Everfresh. Here's how he did it. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's what you need to buy. And here's da-da-da. And he I was like 50% on the idea. And then Grips told me exactly what to do, made the night, and just like kind of gave it to me. So like, it shout out to Grips. Like, he's the guy who like knows how to make things happen.
Word.
On that one. But so it was Friday Night Live for a long time on Facebook, and they kept shutting us down and muting our copyrighting all the shit, and it sucked because we get cut off after 10 minutes, and then we have to restart, and people have to find this, and then the next DJ would have to restart, and we have to look for their link and all that, and then all of a sudden we see James and Jesse Jacobs doing this on Astral Island, and we're like, oh, you can do this, and James, you're telling me about Twitch, and you're telling me, and we're talking about how it works, and how it's like more television style, and you just kind of sit back and watch it, and it goes on and off, and you don't have to like look and search on different stuff. And we were like, that's that's the spot. That's what we want to do. So we switched it to Twitch, and just the whole switch, the whole upgrade, the whole new idea of a new show or a new platform, whatever. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. I decided to switch the name. Friday Night Live is cool, but it's like, I don't know, get the brand in there a little bit, Animal Street Seller.
Plus,
yeah,
if
so
you
that's
did want to change it from a Friday night, it's good. You're not nailed
exactly
down to, like me and Jesse are stuck with Wednesdays forever.
Well, that's the way she goes. Yeah, that too. So yeah, the Cellar. It's like, come on down to the Cellar and do a set and have a good time.
Yeah,
We're always
man.
chilling.
Totally. And my perspective to this was that, I mean, I was doing free puppies first at the same time, and then seeing you guys do this, I was super hyped on it. But then Jesse and I, because of the game Spinch, we started doing Twitch, and I love Twitch. And I had a bunch of friends that I just met in Australia before the pandemic that were like, "Oh, you should go on Twitch. You should do Twitch." And I was like, "Okay, maybe." So we started doing Twitch, and then as Jesse got too busy to do stuff for Switch, for Nintendo Switch, for our video game, I was like, let's bring in the other Jesse and let's make this whole thing a channel.
Jesse, so that I don't have
what other Jesse?
relearn a different name.
Well, you're Jesse and he's other Jesse.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm the main Jesse.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So the whole, I mean, everybody out there probably knows this, whatever, who's watching this, but Enter Astral Island is just the Posse's channel, and it's like we're bringing in everybody from Animal Street Records. So I gotta say, Animal Street is something Joey started a bit ago and brought me into, and we released the awards album through that. He's the guy who's doing all that, and Joey's come on quite a few tours and played and done stuff with Jesse and I, and so it's just it's this package rolling together. So it's nice to be able to talk about that.
Community. We're a community.
Definitely, it's the Wu-Tang of Twitch.
It's beautiful. We're the Wu-Tang / hieroglyphics, depending on what coast you're from.
Of Twitch.
Twitch.
For the Dungeon fam.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever they've got in the mid, that's something. Yeah. I like the peanuts and corn.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
I like that.
Heck yeah.
We're talking about peanuts as in Charlie Brown and corn as in the heavy metal band.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What else were we talking about?
Of course, yeah. I get it. That's what we are. That's exactly what we're like.
But Joey, I love this. Again, this is one of the main themes that we keep returning to, and that Jesse and I have always talked about, is the creative process of pushing and putting stuff out, and how to do that, and how to trick your mind to get past either being nervous or procrastinating or just feeling like you can't do something, because that's something we all struggle with, right? And I know for a fact you and I have made music together, just the two of us, and some with grips and different things like this and solo stuff that we're all just trying to put out. And for me, a deadline is always the thing that makes you finish the project to actually get it out. So I really appreciate hearing you talking about this. What I'm doing, I'm setting a deadline for myself. Obviously, you're not going to go totally sideways and ruin your life if you don't make the deadline, but it's going to push you. And now you're telling people on our channel, so the whole world knows. So you better get your damn work done.
Well, as long as they don't tell you guys the deadlines, I can kind of just do my own thing, right?
You said every month.
Bandcamp Fridays, so.
Oh,
that's right. I did. So, yep. And Bandcamp Fridays announced 4 dates.
Who told GJ Media Frenzy what backburner means? Yeah, you caught us. That's it. That's why we're backburner. Screwed ourselves. Day one.
Yeah. We're the backburner of Twitch. Sorry. But yeah. Hey, and P.S. we do have some other cool stuff coming to you too. Like Fester's planning a show. We have
that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, we have some cohorts contributing from Japan too that are good friends of ours that want to contribute here and there. And Mega Ranch show this Friday, so make sure you tune into that.
Yeah, that's gonna be sweet for sure.
Yeah, first Sunday of every month. The last Sunday, hotcake.
Yes, last Sunday of every month is the home. That's Grips' show, and it's a really cool fucking show. I'm
this time.
So good.
Most recent show. Wonder.
Stop.
Love it. It's still still up on the VOD. So everybody who's in the channel, you got to check Hotcakes. It's in the video on demand, and check out the Beat Cipher because some heat.
Oh yeah, and it's like just different styles. It's really cool. I was like, we were watching it in the morning, and it was we were watching it having some hotcakes.
Gripsky upped the level with like not just
Oh, yeah.
music, not just DJing, not just videos, but also beat cipher and
He
like
just
awesome
knows,
talking
man.
about figures and toys and stuff. So
Grips just
yeah.
knows. He's always got like a step ahead. He knows what's gonna be cool. Like he's like, oh, here's what like the coolest most underground shit's happening. This is what we got to do.
Totally.
Like this is what we're going to do. And I was like, and yeah, now he's doing it, and it's a great show. Love it. Shout out to Gripsky and Hotcake.
Yeah, hotcakes, man. Can I give a shout out to Vagabond Dog? I just caught a little section. Vagabond Dog has been working on a game with Jesse Jacobs.
Saw that.
Vagabond Dog, if you could drop the link or something like that, it was for a band, and I just saw this like yesterday. I mean, Jesse's been Cloud Nothings, yeah, and the game looks amazing. So it's like Jesse immediately bounced from finishing the game for the Nintendo Switch and like immediately bang, here we go, here's the next thing. And it's a simpler game. But it looks awesome. Jesse says super fun to play. So if you could drop any of the links in there, More or Less is in the house.
More or less.
Yeah,
More or less
yeah.
should have said on the
Space I think he means Space Fights, where we talk about.
Oh well, yeah, we got less coming up for round 2 soon.
I finally watched the Mandalorian. Actually, I finished it.
Oh dang! Okay, did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. You know who I want to give a huge shout out to on that is Bill Burr, the comedian.
He's so much better in his second appearance, eh?
Yeah, and like
yeah.
But it's just I'm a huge Bill Burr fan, so it's just so funny to see him. If you're a Bill Burr fan, you know Bill Burr's comedy, but then you see him in that, and he was in he played like a fireman in a movie recently or something. And like it's just so funny, and you see him in like these big roles because he's blowing up, and it's awesome. Shout out to Bill Burr. Anyways,
also, like wasn't he? For a while, like he was
totally. I saw that.
Yeah, but are you a Star Wars guy, Joey? Like, is that in your?
Yeah, I'm a Star Wars guy. I'm not like James likes to watch other people talk about what's like what could happen on the shit. That's like he like I remember we're on tour and he's like, dude, this guy gotta for 20 minutes we gotta pause everything and watch what this guy thinks is gonna happen in this movie. And I was like, all right, okay, we'll do that. We'll watch that. But no, I have the original 3 on VHS in like a set. I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Nice.
I can say like I know the character name. I know what's going on.
The character names. That's like a.
I know the character names.
That's
I know
like
my
a dividing line right there. There's like a certain threshold of character names, like stuff that's not said in the movie.
Yeah.
So I made a mistake recently. I made a big mistake.
Okay.
I watched Phantom Menace again.
Why is that a mistake?
And it's
not a mistake.
It's the second time I've ever seen it in my entire life.
Listen.
First time I saw it was in theaters opening day.
Same. Not opening day.
1999.
1999. That's a good. I was 10 years old.
Well, I was almost 20, so that might have made a difference in our experience of it.
Yeah. Well, I remember. Okay, so here's my experience really quick of that. Is I went to see with my old man who was a huge Star Wars fan. And he was the one who like obviously got me into it, and I just remember walking out of the theater and being like, "Oh, cool, Star Wars!" Like me as a 10-year-old kid, like another Star Wars movie. This is awesome. I like it was fine. I didn't hate it at all. And then I relax everyone out there like you didn't hate it. You're not a real Star Wars fan. But I just remember looking at my dad just being like, Jar Jar Binks? What the fuck is... And just
your dad was... Yeah,
it's like Jar Jar Binks? What? Like, just... I had no clue what they were talking about. Like, just so upset. Yeah, that's my memory of seeing that movie in theater. But, like, I don't know. Come on.
I'm a lot more like your dad, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
me and your dad should hang.
Totally.
Can we get Mr. Tunes on the show next time?
Yeah, he's up. He's down. He's up for it.
Get him on Space Fights.
For real. Yeah.
Totally.
It's a movie that's full of racist baby talk.
Wait.
Okay, that shit is bullshit. You're right.
Okay, I didn't hear that part, but
and
what
terrible
about
acting. Like
Terrible acting for sure. The second Anakin, the teen or the 20-year-old Anakin is worse than the baby Anakin, in my opinion.
You know what? I
Jeez.
remembered him being way worse, but baby Anakin was a lot worse than I remembered him being.
But it's a kid, remember? This isn't like we can't blame him on his acting skills.
No,
What's his name?
I'm not gonna cyberbully Jake Lloyd.
I get it. But Mark Hamill was the one who was like, man, he was just a kid who showed up on set and he did everything George Lucas told him to do, and everyone like ripped him to shreds after that shit.
Man. Yo, I'll tell you this. Every actor sucked on it. Like, it doesn't matter age or second fucking... Look at Natalie Portman and Homeboy, what's his name, are fucking rad actors.
Ewan McGregor actually killed it. Ewan McGregor did the perfect Obi-Wan voice, and I will ride for that. Even though
he tried, but he still sucked in it, dude. He still sucked in it.
I think he's a good Obi-Wan, young Obi-Wan, but I agree that the acting was brutal.
Something was happening. George Lucas was like, act worse. Everybody act worse. You know what I mean? Like,
one thing I couldn't get over.
Watto was cool.
Watto was the only cool thing.
He was awesome.
Hey, Annie, you think you're some kind of Jedi, huh?
He was really great. He was a fantastic slave owner.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Hey, why are you waving your hand around? You think you got whatever. Yeah.
The Jedis are like, I want to free these slaves, and he's like, one, and they're like, okay, we'll just free the one. Like,
ooh, good call.
Excellent, good guys you got there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, Qui-Gon should have just cut him down and saved all the slaves. Like, you're all Jedis. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, actually, you're right. You're fucking right.
Grow up, kill somebody.
Yeah. It's not like they had the prime directive from Star Trek though, where they're like, oh, I can't really interfere. It's not really my ecosystem. You know what I mean? So Jedis are always interfering. Like, that's the shit.
Who was it on my Facebook? Was it Les who said they were trying to do a Star Trek and they know what they were doing? Somebody made the point.
That was a dope point. That was a dope point.
They're like, I guess we'll try and make it Star Trek, but they didn't understand any intellectual. Why and Amidala, Natalie Portman, why is he only talks like?
Yeah. I don't understand what's up with the slave trade and the thing with the separatists.
My people are dying, allegedly. Don't see them. No people. They keep telling me my people are dying. I can't move my lips.
Yeah. It really sucks that my body double got blown up in the thing in the second movie.
I care for you, Anakin.
Yeah.
Too, but you miss your mother. That almost beats I Hate Sand for dialogue.
Yeah. For real. Man, this has turned into a space fights episode already.
I know. I should have put us in the space fights bracket.
We done goofed, son.
I just wanted to know. I'm still upset about it, so I just wanted to know if Joey would tolerate me ranting. I'm glad. You know what? Glad you enjoyed it. I do enjoy it. That you saw something in it that your father could never understand.
You and him are exactly the same person.
That explains so much.
No.
But the prequels did suck. Kind of. Yes, I hate to say it.
Like, come on, like you just gotta really. I think we've come to the point with all these new movies and Star Wars content that you just need to realize that they're just more Star Wars movies. Just like it. Just enjoy that you're watching more Star Wars movies.
Sure. Can I tell you the conundrum though of this whole thing is that Jesse likes the sequels like a lot.
Who's Jesse? Is in Jesse here.
The real Jesse Danger.
The real Jesse. But we just talked about how much he didn't like the sequels.
No, he likes the sequels. He didn't like the prequels.
Right.
But he thinks the sequels are dope, which he still hasn't been able to explain to me why. Is this what we're doing this episode?
They're all dope, man. They're just fun. It's a fun.
Are we gonna save this for later?
For 2 hours and you watch a Star Wars movie. It's beautiful.
Joey, tell us about the SP404.
Me tell you about it?
Yeah, let's talk about rap for a minute. We can Joey, you can come on a Space Fights.
man.
We got
yeah. Let's talk
we got
about music instead of
talk about
Star
hip
Wars.
hop for a second here.
I'm not the guy to talk about the SP404. I'm just learning it right now. It's a beautiful machine. It's exactly what I'm pretty sure it's exactly what I've always wanted in a machine, and I didn't know it.
Have you made beats like a lot before? Have you like what's your?
Well, I've been playing the drums since like I was in the 7th grade. Like I got my first drum kit probably grade 6, grade 7. So I've been like making rhythms for a long time.
Tell them about the family band.
Family band. So everyone in my family is musicians, right? My uncle is a multi-Juno winner in the country genre, in a band called Prairie Oyster. He's in the Canadian Hall of Fame, Country Hall of Fame. But like we have a family band where it's like my cousins and my aunts and my uncles get together and they all play tons of different music, and it's just all bluegrass or tons of different instruments. It's all bluegrass, and it's beautiful. It's a great time when you go to like a Christmas dinner and they just bust out. And like, everyone's opening presents and all of a sudden everyone's taking their banjos and trumpets and stand-up bass, glockenspiel. Like we're talking all of the above instruments and just jamming, playing Christmas songs, playing old country songs, playing old standards, playing all this stuff. It's beautiful. So like my family is all about music and we've just been doing it forever. Like my brothers are in a band too called Run Coyote, and they're
band.
they're a great group.
Rival Kylie?
Run Coyote. But it should be called whatever you just said.
Kylo Ren.
Because that's
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, it should be called Kylo Ren. Yeah. So I've been like in the music like scene or whatever zone forever, but as far as like actually making beats, I want to say grade 10 maybe. My friend showed me how to download Fruity Loops, so that's where that started.
So that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, so when I was in grade 10 2 years ago. And so I would just kind of sit and like try to figure that out, and I'm the worst for technology. I'm the worst for learning new stuff like that, like learning new programs and stuff. I'm terrible at it. I want someone to show me or watch someone else do it and then me go, try that. But just sitting there by myself learning something it's a nightmare for me. But yeah, so that's what I did for a long time, is learn Fruity Loops, and then I got my friend, his parents bought him a Mac, so he got Logic, and then it would always be over there every day learning Logic, and then I was like, this whole time I'm obsessed with hip hop. I'm in high school, I'm obsessed with hip hop, so I'm learning about producers, I'm learning about MPCs and stuff, so I'm like trying to get an MPC. That's like the goal.
Are you DJing at this time? Like, have you been DJing that long? Okay,
you
just.
See, that's a lot of people want DJ to producer. I kind of went the other way. But yeah, so I finally get my hands on MPC. My friend does, but he's more of a rapper, and I'm the beat guy. But he bought an MPC, so I'm like usually working the MPC while he's rapping. That was in high school. We didn't record much. He kind of ended up with all the recordings, and they probably are gone because he's gone. Not gone. He's in Montreal. That's gone, right? But so he sold his MPC to Mad Hatter. Shout out Hatter again. And that's when Hatter, I don't think that was his first MPC, but that was when he started making beat tapes from that MPC. And then
and Hatter made a lot of stuff for Bending Mouth. P.S.
Oh,
sorry.
Shout out.
Cat's in the chat. There's a different Mad Hatter that's in Nerdcore. Spelled it the exact same as Mad Hatter that's in.
Really? That's weird. I thought he changed it up to make it different. Well, obviously he didn't do it on purpose. But anyway, so I've just been trying to, I've been slowly learning and upgrading for a long time.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, I'm more of like a beat maker than like a guy who sits and works on a mix for a long time. Like I'm not going to sit there on the the faders and effects for a long time. I like to kind of just sample and loop and I now I got a bunch of different percussion stuff. I'm starting to like make my own drum loops with different stuff. But yeah. So I've been messing around with music my entire life. And like, it's like, oh, why don't you have anything out? Well, that's why I put all these dates out. That's why I'm like forcing it.
Shout back to I do want to say sorry, Jesse, just for 2 seconds. You do have a cool project with Kyle Knievel, who is one half of the Thesis too, which is really dope. So Joey has been doing tons of stuff with rappers on this and that.
And I used to put beat tapes out and then take them down. So I had like maybe 3 beat tapes that I put out on like Bandcamp and SoundCloud that like if you were down for that month, you grabbed it, and if you weren't, then you don't have it. And I think probably a few people had, like Hollywood might have a few, Hatter might have. I know Hatter shared a bunch on his SoundCloud for me, which was dope. So shout out again, Hatter. And a few other people might have it, like people who I sent beats to, like Moore maybe might have a couple. Like I have a few tracks with Moore and Exit that never got released. A few extra tracks with Kyle Knievel never got released. A few Nicest tracks never got released. A few Line Eyes Prime tracks that never got released. So I got a lot of stuff that was just floating, and just things, you know, like I said at the beginning, like projects that never finished, like just things that I like, you know, stuff that just didn't happen. It's unfortunate, but you know.
Yeah, that's how it goes being a creative, man. I mean, it's like we all have like all this like cool shit that like we want to get out there to people, but it's super difficult. That's the one thing. Like, I mean, like, because the fun part is like sitting there and pushing buttons and like coming up with something dope, and you could be messed up or not or tired or, you know, whatever, off your game, and you maybe even make a better song, you know, when you're super whatever tired or just like frustrated or whatever, you make your best shit. But the hard part is like tweaking it and getting it and literally just putting it out.
Right.
You know? Like, that's the hard part, those final steps, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, that's like there's someone Shane Hall saying like nothing's ever finished. Y'all just stop working on it. It's true. Like,
it's really true. It's really true.
Like that whole beat tape. I sent you guys a bunch of demos. You know, I have 100 of those demos that are just sitting there. It's like, is this it or is that it or am I gonna put this on it or that on it? Should I call it this or should I call it that? Should I save this name for that project? No, just do it. Just put it out. Put it out and keep every month put shit out. That's to 2020. 2021 is just release shit.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never regretted releasing something, and I have spent so much. Like, even if it wasn't the most perfect it could have been, even if I could have made it better, even if I like fucked up some aspect of it, I have so much regret for all the shit that like on all the stuff that I've like finished and not put out, not come anywhere finished, but it's got some of my best work with hundreds of stuff. Literally hundreds. Like, I'm trying to get them out bit by bit still, but I'm old. Got so old.
Yeah, you guys are old. Holy fuck. You guys are old as hell.
I'm so old I don't like the Phantom Menace.
You saw when you were like my age. You saw it the first time you saw it in theaters. You were my age. Was 20, right? I'm about 20.
Yo, shut the fuck up, Joey. Get back and get making some more beats. Come on.
You go to school with Joel, right?
Me and Joel, we don't really get along. I don't know if me and him, like, you're lucky you guys called me in here. So we were about to go at it in the green room there.
Always say that. We weren't gonna do shit.
I heard you and Joel used to skateboard back in the day together.
We used to skateboard. We definitely did. He was a little bit better than me. That's why I kind of got this little bit of a grudge against him. He's a little bit better than me. He, you know, all the girls liked him. I was always the loser. I was always kind of the sideline guy, and he was always the main star. And it just got to me. And we had similar names too. So like they'd be like, Joey. All the girls would be like, Joel, and I'd look up and they'd be like, not you.
Yeah, but things kind of changed around for the poor guy. Like, I mean, since he's been having those rage attacks and stuff. But that's a whole other thing. Maybe I shouldn't bring on here. Sorry.
That's personal for.
He's on backpack therapy, so that's cool.
Yeah, he can only listen to Black Moon. To damage Fair
That's dope.
Foundation. What would you say?
Hey,
What
that's
are the
dope.
exemplary backpack? I got asked the other day by someone about Joey's age, what is backpack rap, and I had to like sort of dig into my backpack for.
Hieroglyphics Far Side.
Well, I mean, isn't backpack rap kind of just like the shit that you walk around, like when you throw your headphones on and you're walking to school or walking to the bus stop or whatever you're doing, walking to the thing, whatever, your homie's house, whatever your I don't know, is it like certain bands or is it like just what you kind of jam with?
No, it is. There was. Well, I mean, you can use it lots of different ways, but there was definitely like a
Gangstar's
stereotype. There
in
was
there.
an idea of backpack rap that was diametrically opposed in the mid to late '90s in the hip hop world to like club rap, player rap, and gangster rap.
Definitely.
I was just testing you. That's what I wanted to hear.
Right. But no, okay. It's so funny because
let's say it's exactly this. It's Gangstar, it's Pete Rock, it's J. Rue, it's J. Rue's Gangstar. It's that. It's a Tribe, it's Mobb Deep, and then you go to it's Hieroglyphics and it's Dilated. Shout out to someone said Dilated. Wordburger's got Saphir, of course. It's like that's what it is.
Atmosphere. No, Atmosphere's later. Sorry, I meant actually Artifacts.
Artifacts, wrong side of the tracks.
I remember Big Brother Skateboard magazine broke it down because I remember being called like you're a backpack rapper like by some dude who was like getting jiggy with it or whatever. But like J5 or whatnot. Yeah, exactly. But I remember like Big Brother Skate magazine was like it's called backpack rap and they had some like weird absurd article that was like because in your backpack you got a marker, you got at least a marker, maybe a spray can, you got a 40 ounce, you got your sketchbook or your rhyme book or whatever, and you got your skateboard maybe tucked in the backpack for holding it if you're like going through school or whatever. So that's why it was backpack rap and tapes, tons of tapes. So you always had to have it in a backpack. It's like that. It's got that hiss. You got a dub from a friend of the most underground shit from wherever. You know what I mean? Backpack rap.
And the weed you're dealing. And
the
maybe
weed.
a gun.
Yeah.
Like the thing is that backpack rap also had a rawness. It wasn't strictly coffee shop rap. Like there was a lot of misdemeanors.
Oh, you got to see my cat?
Oh, yeah.
No, you can't. No,
you might have like a pair of brass knuckles in there too. Something like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you had to
like
lay
you're
it down.
getting into a fight, you're like, you just wait a second, and you start digging around for your brass knuckles, and you're like, oh, you're gonna be sorry you said that. Trying to find it, and you're like, I get these brass knuckles out. Yo, wait. Mean Joe Tunes.
Look who came to the party.
Who's this friend?
This is my friend Leroy.
Oh,
Leroy Brown.
Oh,
he's the baddest man in the whole damn town. He chills out a little bit, but he doesn't like to chill too much. I'm not choking him. If you think I'm choking him, I'm not. He like.
I feel like if you have to say that, it's still questionable.
No, he's good. He's
you think
out
I'm
here.
choking him?
Man, I got something. Like I think cats. I don't know. I always have this relationship with black cats. They're always so nice. They're always like the best cat in the world. I think.
I kind of agree with you. And then, so when I got Leroy, I got him from one of the shelters, and they had a deal on black cat. This is gonna sound crazy. They had a deal on black cats where they were like 50% off or something, and I was like, first off, there's just these two adorable black cat kittens. What I don't know if they're brother and sister, but I think they were. And Leroy was the brother. And I was like, how are you gonna tell me these ones are like the discount cats?
Yeah.
Of the whole.
Really won't adopt black cats.
Because people are stupid. Like, how stupid do you have to be superstitious? Sorry.
That's some colonial shit, though, man. That's some colonial shit, man. Like some.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, it's the same with dogs though too, man. Like I'm trying to adopt a dog right now. Like I'm trying to properly adopt a dog. And like the black dogs are like the ones that don't get adopted quick enough. It's
Dude,
like,
I grew up having when I was a kid, I had a black dog named Molly. She was half black lab, half black lab, half collie. That was almost
Molly.
a rhyme. Yeah. And what a great dog. Like, come on now.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's up with it, but I always have this like special like telepathic almost relationship with black cats. They're so dope.
You should write a song about pets like dogs and cats
Like me wishing that you had a pet or a
at
dog
the
at your
house.
house?
Yeah. How about that?
Yo,
Dude.
people
happen.
are. Chocules says adopt me, bro. Chocules is trying to get adopted.
Really? I'll
Yo.
adopt Choke right now.
Les says,
That's a dog
me
I'll
too.
adopt.
Show me the paperwork. I'll sign it. A Choke, and you can come hang at my house, and we can eat vegetables, and we can, I eat some meat
Wait,
products, but I have tons of vegetarian
Cats are
options.
carnivores.
What?
Cats can't eat vegetables.
I like to have a vegetable byproduct in their kiblets if it's possible.
They eat
Like a
greens,
little-
man. They eat like fucking grass and stuff to get
My
their,
cat-
not for nourishment.
My cat likes kiblets, and he likes pizza crust. He likes the crust only.
Oh yeah, they want to eat meat, man, but they do eat some greens for the roughage, and then it makes their stomach clean out and shit. But,
Totally. Well, yeah, they eat it, then they puke it up. That's like
Yeah,
a
it's like
house
something they
cat
do.
thing.
We just
it's
shit
not-
it out, but they puke it up.
Yeah, yep, totally.
Shane Hall
But
says
yo-
that he was adopted and it ain't that great.
Yo, I was adopted.
That's also
Oh shit. JK, it worked out. Shane Hall, what's up, dude? We gotta have you back in the Canada.
Shout out to Joke for shouting out that bit I did with Kyle on not liking cucumbers.
What's up with that? So you won't eat raw chicken? I'm not eating raw pickles. What's the?
So Kyle Knievel was like, hey, no, Knievel, Kyle O'Rourke was saying how something to do with eating. I don't know what the beginning of the conversation was, but it was like, something about, I don't like cucumbers. I don't hate cucumbers. I just don't. I think that people are like, they don't have taste. It's like, no, they definitely. That's like, if you take a bite of a salad with cucumber in it, that's what you're getting is the cucumber taste. If you take a bite of a sandwich or whatever with cucumber, that's what you get is the cucumber taste, in my opinion, and it's not cool. I don't like the overwhelming taste of it.
I hate it. I do hate cucumbers.
You
I'm
hate
with you.
cucumbers? Okay, fuck every cucumber ever.
No.
Anybody who likes them.
No.
Yeah, anyway, sorry to get a little hostile.
Yo,
It's just
fresh
true.
cucumber
It's just-
sliced into a drink of water though in the summer.
No, I don't want to
Ice?
drink it, but I'll be around it and smell it.
It barely
and-
smells, man. It barely smells, dude.
No, it does, it definitely smells the entire room. I can smell it from 3 rooms away.
Maybe some people just don't have a good cucumber scent, and that's why they think it's
It's
good.
just a little bit of it. I like it. Like I like cucumbers. I like them being cut because it's fresh. I like the feel of it, but I don't want it. It's the whole taste of the whole thing. When I'm eating, when there's a piece of a cucumber, it's just the whole thing is cucumber to me, and I hate it.
When Wendy's changed their
But it's raw pickles.
like
I love
cucumber
pickles.
taste
That was the
pickles.
joke. I love pickles. Dill pickles are my favorite thing. Period.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm
So-
insane about dill pickles.
So the joke was, it's like a raw pickle. The cucumber's a raw pickle. Would you eat raw chicken?
Word, of course.
That's
Yeah.
the joke.
Right.
It's a funny. I thought.
Is it a
Appreciate
joke
it.
or is it
Appreciate
just the most penetrating insight of our?
Yeah.
Is it
Maybe.
a joke or is it finally? It's time somebody said that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's break
I'm
that
writing a
wall of
book.
perception.
I'm writing a book. It's coming out when Megaran's second book comes out. I'm going to be in stores with him. We're going to have our dual books. Fuck Cucumbers by Joey and Megaran. How about this new rap scene?
Is that also going to be a memoir? Is this going to be your memoir?
Yeah. Oh, my memoir is definitely called Fuck Cucumbers. Yeah. And mushrooms don't belong in everything. That's another one of
Like
my
certain-
memoir.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Mushrooms, you got to be super selective.
I work in a kitchen with a head chef who literally thinks fucking mushrooms go in everything, and he
That's
puts them
insane.
in our hash browns, he puts them
That's
in
insane.
our fucking omelets, he puts them in everything, and I'm just like, dude, we had a Philly cheesesteak sandwich one day, and it was the Philly cheesesteak mixture was 70% mushrooms, 30% meat. And I was like, this isn't a thing. That's not how this works.
No. I've
That's
heard
not how
about
food-
some Philly cheese with mushroom.
But
But
it's
to
called
me-
a Philly cheesesteak with mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly. You know who deserves to fucking straight up go down under and like burn is people who throw like raw mushrooms up in like a salad that has barely any dressing.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Man, I'll take mushrooms finely like diced, not like a decent portioned, like you know, I don't want a chunk, I want a slice, small,
Yo.
on pizza. That's kind of
Sure.
where I want my
Okay.
mushroom.
Sure.
That's kind of all I.
Yo, first of
Sauteed
all,
mushrooms.
Yeah,
Okay.
sauteed mushrooms.
I'm
you get some
I'm
butter,
sick of
garlic.
regular mushrooms. I'm sick of regular mushrooms, man. Either give me portobello and like chopped up and awesome and interesting, or like
Show me
you know those
some.
little weird ones that are like floppy that you get in like a lot of like Asian
And you
food.
make
I love
kombucha
that.
out of it.
I love that stuff. Well, that's called SCOBY. But
I want that
no,
too.
All I want is, and I get those little weird little white long ones. Those are so good fried up. I don't even
Or
like a
magic
regular
mushrooms
mushroom.
by Chokes shouting out the magic mushrooms. Those are
Hey.
okay.
Yo, this weekend I ate a bunch of mushrooms and went tobogganing, and it was
What?
exciting. It was
Dude, I
exhilarating.
need you to invite me on some trips like that. But
You just
also,
yeah.
Then when he was
Sorry.
still
Maybe- I
high,
don't-
he did an interview with MC Lars.
Yeah, the next morning I had to get up and talk to Jesse and Lars, which was a pleasure. But that's the next interview, by the way. Next
Nice.
week we got MC Lars dropping science.
did he
about his
book Did he
experience.
book Friday Night Live? I haven't checked my logs.
I don't know about that one yet. But
Okay, cool. Because I have an idea for next week if he hasn't.
Yeah.
Meet a frenzy if you're in the chat room.
Chat room.
Yeah, maybe you're around next Friday. I don't know. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to Troy. Shout out to Grooves. If you go to Grooves' website, it's a local record store in London. I don't know what the website is off the top of my head. It's probably Grooves Record. Go to their Facebook, Grooves Records, and it's
man.
there. And you can buy some records online. They're the best. Troy, Media Frenzy works like it's a great team. It's a great store.
It's a great team. Troy's been supporting all of the indie rap in London, Ontario
Forever.
And he was like the first guy to buy our CDs, our CDRs. Like he used to buy like our burnt CDs and put them in the store. And when we first started having our vinyl coming out, he was shopping that. And then eventually I ended up working in his store called Grooves, the first iteration of it, and was just ordering West Coast Underground and cool underground music from all over the place, from ATAC.
For real, Troy's the
He's a
shit,
foot in the
man.
bill. He's always been doing that. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to Odyssey, is a great record store too in London.
Yeah.
We're really blessed with a couple good record stores. Those are the two ones that I care about. Troy is my fucking main homie.
Mhm.
Mel, what's up? TJ Media Frenzy.
I've definitely had some
Um,
come-ups in Grooves when I'm visiting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
man. You go there. There's always stuff there. It's a beautiful shop.
P.S. The Spinch album is going to be available there. Anybody locally who wants to pick it up, the Spinch vinyl is going to be available there. I know
Yeah.
Odyssey had ordered in a couple too, so London is going to be stacked and packed full of that, and it's a super
Especially in the
limited
back.
amount. And then,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. But like we got it here. We got tons of copies coming. So anybody who wants to buy them got to take a trip to London and buy them because I think they're already gone to press and set the amount that they're going to press. So buy them if you can. If you can't, I don't know. Look at a picture of it. But yo, I think we should maybe get going. What do we want to do right now? This has been a fucking great episode, man. I love this.
Anybody in the
Yes.
chat got any questions for Joey, for Show Tune? Got any questions about finer
Lay it
points
on
of
me.
FP404 or about in a DJ digging for records? Yo, do you got any questions about running one of the biggest record labels
In the
in
world.
Southern Ontario? No, they don't. They don't have any questions.
They don't. Okay, I get it. You guys. You already know how to do it all. I mean, I'm learning every day. Yo, can we get a big thanks for the stream? Yeah, we keep I just want to thank you guys. If they're not asking me questions. I want to shout you guys for having this dope show.
Hell yeah. homie.
It's like it's such a good platform. Like you guys getting all these viewers and all these homies coming in, they're loving it, and for me, just watching all the old back burner stories and all the cool shit you guys are talking about. So shout out to you too for putting on something that I
Shout out to you.
am super interested in. You know what I mean?
Joey, what is your first awareness of Backburner?
Ooh.
As a
Oh,
London hip hop guy.
okay. So I sort of knew about Backburner. Um, way back, like I knew friends who knew about Toolshed. Like I heard the name of Toolshed once, or
Right.
a few times. So I
Just
knew that
once.
there was like a thing, like a London thing, but I didn't. I was never. I was really young. Like I was like young high school, and I couldn't go to bars. I couldn't go to hip hop shows. I couldn't do any of that shit. I was like 14, right? I couldn't even try to get in.
Go to Attack of the Clones on that.
Yeah, and and so I didn't really know or try to really pay attention. I was trying to get into anything. I was 14. I was trying to get into like whatever. Like I was just getting Gangsters Catalog or something. You know what I mean? So I was like really into learning about hip hop myself rather than knowing about the older kids in the scene. But and then I remember like a long time later when I'm like I don't know 22 20, I forget how old I was, but I threw a show and I got Moonshine, not Backburner, but like I got Moonshine on it, and I was trying to get Team Burger on it.
Oh, dope.
Well, I was trying to get Socks and Timbuktu separately on it because I didn't hear about Team Burger yet. And then one of them messaged me, like whoever messaged me back first was like, "Have you heard of this? Like I heard you got Socks I heard you're getting both of us on. Have you heard our new project, Team Burger?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, looking up on this, I was like, "Oh, like this is the whole crew. Like these guys are together, and this guy's
And
like
Moonshine and
that
Socks
guy's."
are Twin Peaks.
I didn't say that again.
Moonshine and Socks are Twin.
Yeah, so I didn't. I sort of knew about that, but I didn't I didn't know too much. I was just learning about guys around, and I was like, let's just throw a show, and meet someone, and just talk. Like I didn't know anyone in town. I didn't even know there was other shows, weekly shows going on or anything like that. So I was like, let's just throw something and meet some people. So I talked to those guys. It was APK. Not the last APK, but it was the second last APK.
That stands for Alex P.
Yeah, and then it closed down. So my first show, APK, closed down halfway through me promoting the show, and I was like, oh shit. And the one other promoter, a guy named Matt Trokey, shout out Trokey, he was like, hey, like we gotta find a new venue because like this show is gonna be dope. Like it was gonna be a cool thing that like you got a lot of people interested and whatnot, so let's find a new venue for it. So I kind of left that on him because I was a kid who didn't know nothing. I just sent some emails out trying to organize a show, and so we got Brennan's, which turned into APK because of the show, and it was the first APK, like the first show of the new APK venue, which was also the last APK venue, and it was dope. Like that was huge. Like we packed that spot. It's not a huge place, but we packed it, and everyone showed up. Like even like not like my brother, who's not a hip hop guy, my older brother, who's like he's in the rock band Run Coyote, I already mentioned. He showed up just to support, and then all of a sudden he's talking with James, and I didn't know James personally, and all of a sudden I look over, I'm like, who am I really talking to? Like, how does he know anyone at a hip hop show? And then I'm looking, I'm like, that's the dude in the chicken suit in fucking that one video. That's it. I swear that's what happened. And I'm like, that fucking, like, he's the guy who did the hook and everything. So I walk over and I'm like, hey. And James, you and I talked for like 2 seconds.
Oh, shit.
It's like, hey, what's up? Oh, you're like, this is a whole thing. And like, I was like, still putting it all together because I didn't know it was a big crew. And I was old enough that I should have, like, I was a hip hop head. I didn't think there was a Canadian scene. Not a Canadian scene. I knew it was a Canadian scene, but I didn't think there was like a London scene like that. I knew
Right, there was, like,
I
spread
knew
all
like
around.
this guy rapped. I knew this guy rapped. Like if you guys know the dude Young Stitch, he's like a big name for Canada and like a different scene than your guys. He's young. He's a year younger than me, so he's young, but he's like killing it. He raps with like Snack the Rapper and shit like that. Like he's like in that scene, and like I went to high school with him, and he was doing it since we were in grade 8. So like the scene to me was like guys like who were like really grinding, who were in a different kind of genre of hip hop, who like that wasn't like really for, but I was just like to me like the scene was just like different dudes doing different things, and then I didn't know that all of a sudden there's like this plethora of dudes and people doing this great movement and this great like network of not just Backburner guys, but everyone you guys toured with and everyone you guys were like Socks and Moonshine, and that like Moonshine wasn't Backburner, but he's still like collab, and all the guys you guys worked with. It was so cool. Like I was like me figuring all this shit out when I was like in my early 20s and then mid 20s, and then like it was just that was such a cool thing, learning about you guys.
I am tickled to learn that you saw Thesis across the room. Thought that's the guy in the costume.
Well, that's the thing. That's how like James and I we haven't been homies for the longest time, but like we like met, had an idea, connected, and never looked back. It was like we've been like great fucking friends since then. Like
hell yeah.
So like
we went on tour across Canada to Europe, California.
It's crazy how like quick we became friends, and like how like that friendship grew to us sleeping in the same bed together with a cat. Remember Mark D? Remember Mark D's bed and breakfast thing or not bed and his whatever you call it, B&B, whatever you call it, and we're sitting there and he's like, there's only one bed here. I'll take a couch if you guys want to take my bed. And we're like, okay.
Oh shit, that's right.
And then the cat jumps up and he's like standing on top of me, staring at me the whole night, and I'm just sitting like this.
Yeah.
And then finally get to sleep. And
I thought you were gonna
the same fucking cat.
Still doing it. I thought you were going to talk about that psycho. That was in California. I thought you were going to talk about that crazy cat in Europe. The France cat that was like trying to fucking like his owner left and then the cat was just tried to kill us all night.
Yeah, I had to sleep on an air mattress and it popped the air mattress the first 5 minutes into that. And it was like we had like in France they just give you baguettes everywhere you go. They just hand you baguettes, and we just had these baguettes sitting there, and this cat's like sniffing at our baguettes. It was weird. There's a video of it. I'll share it again tomorrow. I'll share
that
it. That
video is amazing. That cat was crazy, man.
It's a Satan cat. Yeah.
Yo, baguettes though, man. That's everything. They're like, hey, I have to go to a funeral. Here's a baguette to entertain myself. I'm like, what the fuck?
We're on our way to.
Are we talking about baguettes like sandwiches on, or just the
bread? We're talking about long bread.
Dude, I'll tell you.
Just the bread is a baguette.
Dude. Homie, this is my rant about baguettes in France. Man.
James, I love leaning on a baguette.
I love my main homies and all my I have so many good friends in France. But dude, I'm telling you, man, like they act like a baguette, like the skin on the outside is like a package, right? They act like the toast on the outside's a package. You'll see a dude biking down the street in France with 2 baguettes on either hand like this, and they're sagging and wobbling. He'll go home and rip it up and give it to his family. I've seen it, man. They'll have dudes at bus stops resting on their fucking baguettes like as if it's a cane. You know what I mean? Like just waiting. One end's on the floor where there's dudes spitting and knocking out cigarettes and shit. Like they think the outside's a rapper, man. Like dudes will come in like fucking straight up from cleaning dog shit and like rip up baguettes for you like this. I'm just like, I love you, but Jesus fuck, I'm not gonna eat that baguette. They'll give it to you as a pillow and then sell it off the next morning. You know what I mean? Like Jesus fuck.
Yeah. So that's basically France. If you've ever been to France, it's just baguettes.
It's the best place in the world, but it's like
my favorite spot. Dijon, you got to go there. Dijon mustard is just mustard in France. You go to France, you order mustard. It's Dijon, and there's seeds in it. It's a great time.
Except it's moutard.
Do they? I don't know if they do. They pronounce it like that.
New towel.
Yeah, man. Yo, Choke, what's up? Choke knows what I'm talking about. Oh man. Hey, yo, I gotta go. I gotta do some human stuff, but this is too good. I could talk for like 900 more years, but
Same.
yo, okay, off the top, Megaran, thank you so much. Joey, thank you so much, man. This has been awesome. Congratulations on your beat tape.
Dude, thank you guys for having me.
Give us more info about when it's coming out.
Okay, so this Friday, the first Bandcamp Friday of 2021, it'll be out. I'm gonna drop it for like pay what you want. So just download it for free if you want. But all the money that you give to artists on Bandcamp Friday goes straight to the artist. So buy other people's shit too. Buy a shitload of music on Bandcamp Friday. This Friday, February 5th. I'll put it up. I'll have like YouTube videos. You'll be able to check it out. And I got the show Friday too, so you can. I'll play some shit on there. And Mega Ran's there. Shout out Mega Ran.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the thing. Megaran's playing the Friday night too.
Yeah, we'll have.
Congratulations to him on the new book.
Yeah.
Um,
AnimalStreetRecords.com. That's where you'll get the music.
yeah, you can order the new awards. The new awards. Was that
Yeah,
2018?
we still got a few records left. Not many. There's not many left.
many.
If you want to get your last chance to get the awards War on Computers vinyl, there's not many. It's a collector's piece. Like you get
They're really low on the MP3s.
a lot to it. Actually, you know what? Just really quick, Jesse, you just did the unveiling of the Word Burglar record. Remember when you did the unveiling of the awards record and we got that on tape and everything?
That was amazing.
When you put it out,
That was so good. Like that was the first time I met you. Like pretty much, actually, when you were in Sensi
Ottawa?
Boy's studio, that's the
Sensi
first
Boy.
time I met you
Yeah.
in that studio because you weren't on the first show or on our way or whatever it was.
Yeah, right.
We met you there, and
Both.
yeah, the rest is history. You know, you need to do more unveiling. Every record I put out from now on,
Yeah, I'm
gonna send to you to do the official unveiling video.
I want to.
And
I was
I
really proud of
encourage
that.
everyone else to do it too.
I was really proud of my unveiling of that record, and
It was
it
super fun.
helped me to enjoy the record later when because it's not the easiest record to get into. It's a little bit like a blues. It's a little bit avant-garde. But
Well, if you're a Thesis Sahib hardcore rap fan, you're gonna be like, whoa. But if you're like my mom, you're gonna be like, oh, it's a good album. Okay, I like it.
Finally.
It's the
And
one album
mom's
my mom
Jewish.
likes.
Yeah, I like this album. It's beautiful.
But yeah, moms are like, "Well, you know what? I actually like this. Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, I remember actually right when we drove out of London, when we got pulled over, actually, James and I got pulled over on our way
By the
to
cops.
the first show by the police, not by
What are you guys
the other
doing?
people who pulled us. Yeah, and he grabbed James by the shirt and he shook him like British police style. He's like, "Listen here now, son."
Yeah.
But no, and then we talked to your mom seconds after that, and she was like, "I'm gonna do the accent." She's like, "James,
Go for it.
I just want to tell you, like, I really like all your music, but this one's like, I really like this one." She doesn't talk like that. That's like a William. I can't do like a. I
That's
can't get
way
that.
better than mine, and I have a Scottish family, so
James, I really like this one.
it means you've been spending a lot
Son,
of time around these.
if the
my
cops-
accent a lot.
I'm
If a
obsessed with
police
that
officer
shit.
grabs you like that again, do the Scottish Kung Fu. Fuck you! Yeah.
Yeah,
My mom
your
gave
mom
me
is
authority to fuck up cops.
Yeah,
I'm
I got
always
a note
getting-
from my mom.
I'm always getting in trouble with police, man. I don't know. Anyways, it
man.
doesn't matter. They're not.
Well,
they don't like me
shout
very
out to your
much.
mom. She's
Shout out
awesome.
to my mom. Word up. Thank you. Hey, shout out to your mom. Your mom's great.
Hey,
Hey.
cheers.
Yo,
I got a mom too.
Andra.
Shout
Oh,
out
your
to
mom.
Jesse's
Your
mom.
mom is dope.
Hey,
Jesse.
actually,
Your mom-
Jesse, I
yeah.
was thinking about this yesterday. We were on tour. We stopped by your parents' house. I woke up in the morning. I asked your dad if I could take a quick shower before we left. He said that was cool. I accidentally left like about a half a travel Head and Shoulders shampoo in your bathtub.
Yeah.
I mean, if he just wants to mail that, if he just wants to send it by mail, that's cool. I'll send you my address. I just, I forgot it there.
That's long.
I figured he might have used it by now. It's a good brand. Head and Shoulders.
Man, that stuff gives you dandruff. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't
Really?
trust that shit.
Be
I don't
careful.
trust that shit.
That'll
If
give
I'm
you
being
double
honest, I
dandruff.
use the Life brand Head and Shoulders. It's the same. It's the same box. It's the same tube or whatever you
Hip-hop
call it.
head.
Same bottle, like colors and all that, but it's just Life brand.
It only covers from here down. I don't like it, man.
And my hair doesn't pass my shoulders.
It did one time.
Remember?
Cut it. Yeah.
Don't give me
Anyways.
since half a head and shoulders is just forehead and shoulder.
Head and shoulder.
Hercules
Yeah.
always tells the truth.
Or like
Hercules.
Mad Hatter has that hair over one side. That's only one shoulder.
Hair and shoulder.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's how you find out who used the rest of your tube.
There it is. Because your dad doesn't have the shoulder part. He just has nice short hair.
Hell yeah.
My dad's got a good
Hell yeah.
haircut.
Hey, your dad was really cool. I remember him. He was a really cool guy, and he was like really into us hanging out, and like that was dope. It was a good
It
time.
was dope. It was really dope.
I don't think your
Really
mom
cool.
showed up once. I don't think I met her.
She was at the show.
Oh, she was at the show. Okay, so I might have had a couple wobbly pops.
She was getting down in the back. She was like.
Oh yeah.
Thunder
Oh
Years for
right,
Eleven
right. That was a good show. I met Ambition for the first time at that show. That was a house
Yeah,
show.
Ambition is dope, man.
And I met Bix at that show too.
We rocked that show with Bergie.
And Bergie was there. Shout out Bergie. That was a great set.
Day for you.
It was. That whole tour was a big tour for me. It was my first time leaving the borders on a music venture, leaving the borders of London on a music venture. And it was just so cool. I had such a great time with you guys. You guys showed me a lot of cool things, and we had a ton of ramen and pho. Some people call it pho. Some people call it pho.
And you learned
Totally.
to do graffiti. I watched you.
Oh, yeah.
I learned how to do it on things other than the city bus. I learned it. Like, you guys taught me some cool stuff, man. That was a really interesting experience. It was really cool to do that with you guys, and Funkin' too. Shout out Liz too. That was a great time. That was such a
Funkin' in
cool
the place
time.
to be, Liz. Yeah, definitely, that was dope.
And all the people, like everyone we chilled with on the tour, it was great. Everyone I met, all the people who weren't like, who else? I met Noah 23 on that trip.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's dope.
Yeah,
You
I
showed
met a
up
lot
on
of
the
cool
Guelph show.
people. A lot of cool
Yeah.
people. Shout out to Swordwall and was it Guelph?
Yeah, those guys are dope. Oh
Yeah,
no, that was
amazing.
Kingston. That was
Kingston.
Kingston.
Kingston. Yeah, with Danielson Sleep. We stayed at Thesis and I stayed at Danielson Sleep's place.
Yeah, it was dope. It was
Yeah,
super
cool.
dope.
Those guys
Super
rock,
dope.
man.
Fredericton
That
was dope. We had Shrimp Ring, our homie
Shrink
AV.
Rat?
Shrimp Ring.
Yeah, I
AV,
fucking really
AV's
like
new
Shrimp
group.
Drink rat shrimp spring?
Yeah, that's Philip Clark's newer thing.
Yo, remember that
Yeah,
venue
man.
in
Okay, so
Fredericton?
Burglar's talking about Men's and Molly's, and then afterwards, Burglar. I don't know if you remember, we went out to that one
Freeman's.
spot. Like, you guys know,
Freeman's Little
Yeah.
New York.
Freeman's.
we went to Freeman's. We went to like a classic spot, and we had a great fucking time. With Sumo was there.
We went to
Yeah, that's right.
went to Morgan Freeman's and he read his passages.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, throwback.
Yeah.
And our server freestyled with us a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah,
She had that in her back pocket, I think. But yeah.
totally.
Oh, you freestyle with all the guests, don't you?
Oh, Halifax rap scene. Oh, okay. Here we. Yeah, I got a fucking Coca-Cola. You know that.
So for Bergie homies though, the school in the background is across from Freeman's where he shot a lot of the Channel Halifax video, I think.
But it's
in front
torn
of that.
down. It was torn down by the time.
It's torn. Oh, it was torn down by the time. But also, I lived in Quinpool Towers right next to that too. So
You
yo, just
probably
saying.
shut that shit out in the song too. It's a great song.
Shane's talking about rapping at the border. Yo, you talked about that.
Yeah, we
before,
told that
too, didn't
story
you?
last week. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still up. If you check
Or
the
wait,
Uncle
you didn't
Fest-
tell it last week. You told it for a show that's coming up.
Oh, I thought I told
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
I
the show's coming out.
tell it for the Uncle Fester?
Was it? Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was. Sorry. All of it's a blur. There's so many shows. Sorry.
I'll have it. Yeah, Shane Hall says that we had to rap our way into Canada, but what he out is I didn't rap. I just started beatboxing as quarter guard tried to let's hear something. I kicked the
Nice.
beatbox so Shane would have.
Nice, man. That's imagine you started rapping about like fuck the police or something like that.
Yeah, almost. He accidentally did. He started rapping about how the guy's beard.
Nice.
Like,
Well, you gotta diss the guy who like calls you out on the spot. You have to. I think that's a rule.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we did go to
Just
prison
call
for
a
a long
rapper
time.
out. You know. I feel like I'm not a rapper. I don't know. You guys may have a different opinion.
It's it.
D12? We're talking about D12 now. He told us D12.
Had no record.
Yeah,
He said they were nice boys,
said
right?
they were nice. They're good boys.
Is that what D12 is? D12 is they're not great rappers, but they're nice boys. That bizarre.
Yeah.
No, it's because he
Yeah.
had to check everybody. He's like, they cross here all the time when they go on tour. Like, they all have squeaky records except for Eminem.
Who he's a jillionaire, so we let him through.
Yeah, he's just got a bunch of domestic violence.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and like
Nice boy.
nice boy. Hey, okay, so this is like I know we don't like Eminem in our community, or you guys don't, but I don't. I'm not a huge Eminem fan. But what on one show you guys said Eminem never made a hip hop record. Jesse, you
I
said.
said that?
Jesse, you said.
That's right.
Okay, so have you heard? Did you ever hear the Infinite record that he put out? The first one when he was like 16 or whatever.
Yeah, it's the closest thing. The closest.
But you don't think that's a hip hop record? Like he's not
didn't
talking
put it
about
out-
killing any family
put it out when
members.
he
He's
was
not talking
16.
about
He put it out when
murdering
I was
people.
16.
He's a kid, and all he talked about is like, I like rap. Like it's pretty. It's like
He
a
talks
pretty
about.
dope.
He has a
record.
line. I'm not gonna compromise my Christianity. Yeah, it was okay. When actually Shane Hall just called him the Discount Big L. That was definitely back when he was the Discount Big L. And
Okay,
had the,
but then again, that
verse
album was full of way better rhymes than Big L ever did.
No, not better rhymes than Big L did. I can't co-sign that. But no, well, here's
Big
the
L
thing.
was the best Big L rhyme was like "Ass Beavis, I get nothing butthead."
No, that's not the best Big L line. I disagree. I would disagree
Big
that
L,
that's the
Big
best.
L didn't
Big
have
L.
the greatest. Like he was a really funny punchline guy, but like I don't know. I think that Eminem album was better than Big L's career. I like Big L.
That's cool.
I like Big L more than I like Eminem though, I think. But I think that record was like a nicer lyricism than Big L. I don't
It's
know.
an okay record. It's a pretty good record, and it's more of a hip hop record than any of his subsequent records. Like the beat, but even then, like the beats are not that based. Oh,
Aren't
like
they?
it's,
They were kind of just loopy stuff that like the crew was doing. Well, because
it all
Proof
sounds
is
like
hip hop as fuck, right? Like Proof is dope, right? There's no underground shit. I don't know about Proof.
I'm not a Proof expert.
Well, Proof is like he's like the dude who like created a scene. He's like the scene builder of Detroit. I thought like that was like, his whole scene was like, I'm throwing battles, I'm throwing jams, I'm throwing nights, and like I got this one dude who can battle and he knew everybody. He was like everyone's favorite. Like House Shoes and Dilla, they all shut up Proof.
Sure. Yeah. Well, he died, so like they're gonna.
But before that though, like
yeah,
he was
I'm
like,
not
the
gonna
guy who
disprove- I
really
really-
put
I-
them on the scene probably.
I sincerely like don't know enough about it to like say.
I don't either.
I've only heard positive things. Like I've only heard people praising. I haven't listened to enough Proof side of the heard.
Yeah, I'm not trying to turn this into like me giving Eminem problems. Like I'm not trying to like Eminem is
Eminem,
not
I get it.
the cool
Like,
shit.
finally,
But like that one,
finally, a rapper I can
wanna say,
relate to.
That first record was pretty cool. I'm gonna dig it, and maybe I don't think James has heard it. I think you should check it out.
What are you talking about?
Infinite.
No, there's other
Yeah,
Eminem-
of course. That's the first thing I ever knew, and I was like, Eminem's pretty dope, and like I heard that like way back, right?
Totally. And
I
then
was like,
everything
this is
after
dope,
that
and then
was,
I
like,
just didn't
completely
really
another
love the rest. I just didn't
No,
really love
yeah,
the
no,
rest.
I
I'm
get-
sorry, but like
No, I'm not
yeah, yeah.
against that. The whole everything else he did after that was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do tons of drugs and just get free range to say whatever the fuck I want and be stupid. Like I didn't like any of that.
Honestly, I'm gonna like the shit that I really like. Like there was a period where I was really enjoying stuff that he was doing, and a lot of that was during the times where I would say he's not really making hip hop records. Like there's a lot of stuff on the Slim Shady LP and on Marshall Mathers show. Not as much Marshall Mathers album. Sorry, the
That
Eminem
was
show. Eminem show. Where I
Right,
think like he was rapping really innovatively and doing like really complex stuff with rhyme scheme timings.
Well, that's the thing. He can do that. He can be complex. He can get rhyme schemes and do that. But it's just the content, right?
Ultimately, the content was the thing that made me go like, "Fuck him."
I get it, and I totally get that. Like, but and I didn't everything like I liked. I was a kid who I was when Marshall Mathers came out, I was in grade 5. You know what I mean? So I for me hip hop was Wu-Tang, maybe 2 Dell songs, and then whatever they're playing on the radio, which was Eminem, Dre, and Snoop Dogg.
Right.
So that was all hip hop, and I was like, oh, Eminem started becoming even like, I wasn't really listening to the words on a lot of those records. I was fucking 9 years old, right? So I didn't know. I wasn't listening to a lot of the drug references. A lot like the killing stuff was just like made up to me. It wasn't like
it's like an action
a real
movie.
Yeah. So
Holy shit! What was that? Did someone fall over?
I just dropped my lamp. No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what it sounded like. No, I didn't. But when I started being like hip hop's cool and was like, what's Eminem's next record after Marshall Mathers?
Eminem show.
And I was like, this is stupid. I was like, he's still doing his thing. Like he's still like, like he's still writing pretty crazy. Like he's still good at rhyming, but it was like that was like Without Me and Just Lose It or stuff like that.
Guys, I gotta piss so bad. I gotta piss so bad. I gotta go.
I'm gonna piss my pants.
I gotta piss so
I
bad.
actually am gonna. Let's end it with like Eminem was like he had a thing, but then he really blew up Justin Bieber style and just fucking ruined it with like the rich boy drug addict. Like Justin Bieber was a drug addict, but like here's $1 million to a young kid and see what do whatever you want.
Let's just all agree that if we see him, it's on site.
Oh yeah, I'd fight Eminem.
Yeah, and with that,
I gotta piss, man.
Joey, thank you so much for being here. Thesis, thank you for
Thank
peeing.
you guys for having me. Here's
I'm gonna
log
play
for you
this
guys.
Joey routine as we go. Wow. Yo, you're not on. You're not on. Sorry, I switched scenes, and I didn't realize it wasn't broadcasting your voice anymore. Thank you so much. I just hate Shane Hall's guts. That's all. I hope he never finds out.